the casino you love to hate, Mr. Q.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Live exclusively on DAZN, May 16th. A giant stands over Doncaster. Filip Hrgovic, the most feared destroyer of dreams. But one man holds his ground. Dave Allen.
He's handsome as well, isn't he?
Finally back home.
But I've got no fear of Filip. We're in Donny, aren't we?
This is his one shot. Dave must slay Goliath. Allen versus Hrgovic, May 16th. Watch only on DAZN.
Well, heavyweight season continues on DAZN. We are in Donny, very heart of Doncaster at the Eco Power Stadium, where tonight we've got a bit of a David versus Goliath story. Or in this case, it's Dave versus Goliath. The man of the people, Dave Allen, has sold this place in the tens of thousands tonight, and they were all going to be cheering him on in an almighty battle against one of the best heavyweights in the world, in Filip Hrgovic. That will be your main event coming up later tonight on DAZN. This is the prelims. I'm Dev Sani, and delighted to have with me Mr. Zach Miller and Mr. Jack Rafferty. Who else would be here? How are we, fellas?
Yeah, I'm delighted to be here again, Dev. We're here in Doncaster, you know. Dave Allen, top of the bill. He is a people's person, and he sold this out tonight in here, and it should be a great night of boxing.
I think so, Jack. I mean, you've been buzzing as soon as you turned up, right? This is going to be a good night.
Yeah, what a night, you know, another night of boxing off Queensborough Promotion, DAZN have put on, you know, David and Goliath. I think we're set here for a great fight tonight.
Let's talk about this main event. Dave Allen is a big underdog tonight, Zach. I mean, he's being written off, but I think he prefers that kind of underdog tag. No pressure on him.
No, I think he likes it, and I think Dave's one of them people who will thrive being the underdog, shall I say, and he's got a tough task in Hrgovic, but Dave's not bothered whether this fight was in his back garden or anything, is he? You know, what you see with Dave is what you're getting.
Yeah.
He's going to get in there tonight, he's going to do his thing, and you never know what Dave Allen's going to turn up.
That's kind of it, isn't it? With Dave, sometimes he goes into these fights that he's not expected to win, and he'll just pull it out the bag. But then sometimes he has fights where you think, oh, Dave will do this, and he comes unstuck. It's a strange kind of career, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. You know, a lot of people will be saying, why has he chose his opponent? You know, we could have chose a lot of easier opponents or a better fight to take, but there's massive things what's next, you know. Everyone's talking about the Moses or, you know, different fights like that. Like you were saying, Dave can pull it out of the bag. You know, he's got that lethal backhand, and we'll find out tonight.
How good's Filip Hrgovic?
He's a very good fighter. He's been in there with some top quality operators, and he seems to have been about for years, Dev. He seems to have been about for a long time, and there's never really been a dip in his form. He's been consistent whether he's won or lost. You know, he's a top quality operator, and he's a true professional, I believe.
It's one of those. Look, there is a reason why Filip Hrgovic is the favourite tonight with the bookies. Olympic bronze medalist. He's got great wins as a pro as well. But something could be in the air here tonight. You saw it at the weigh-in yesterday. The way they booed Hrgovic, the way they cheered Dave Allen, that kind of energy could get Dave Allen over the line.
Definitely. Like I was saying, you know, he's fit, sharp and strong. He's bigger than Dave, he's faster than Dave, and with Dave's fans behind him, and you know, this place packed out tonight cheering Dave on. Listen, it can bring a different Dave out. He's been the lightest he's been. He looks in top shape, he looks in top form, and he's got a top opponent to perform against, and tonight we'll see that.
I feel like Hrgovic won't be bothered though. I know he's going to get booed. He got booed yesterday at the weigh-in as well, and he was just like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. He's like a Bond villain.
Yeah, he is. He looks like a Bond villain as well, you know. He's a big man there, but he's not bothered. There could be 40-odd thousand people from Doncaster here. There could be 100,000, but it's only him and Dave in there at the end of the day, and that's all that makes sense, shall I say.
So behind the camera, there is a stage over there, which is where Dave Allen will be making his ring walk later tonight, and I just wonder what kind of moment that's going to be for him, because in the fight with Arslanbek Makhmudov at Sheffield, they were all there for him, and he admitted that the ring walk kind of got to him a little bit. It was a little bit emotional, maybe his legs went a little bit. This will be that times 10, right?
It's got to be, hasn't it? It's in his hometown, you know. He might even have MC Devo with him on that stage in a bit, rapping him down there, but Yeah, it is. It's going to be times 10 that. He's in his hometown, he's got all his people here, and I suppose it can take the Makhmudov fight as experienced. I know he's a veteran of the game, Dave, he's been about it for years, but you're always learning, Devon. He'll learn from that, and I'm sure he'll manage it a lot better tonight.
Well, Jack, you've had to deal with things like that. I mean, you pack out wherever you go as well. Fans are always screaming your name. Those ring walks, how do you make sure it doesn't come on top and you kind of channel that energy for the good?
Yeah, Dave's trained hard for this, you know. He's going to think, nah, I'm not losing in front of my crowd. This show is half around him. So he's going to grab the bull with the horns and, you know, and ride it well. So, like you're saying, how do you deal with it? You're thinking, I've trained for this. So these are here for me, and, you know, I'm going to put a show tonight, and I think he will do.
Well, that is going to be the main event tonight on DAZN. There's so much coming up. Of course, this is the prelims right now, and then we'll be heading over to DAZN a little bit later on this evening, and we build up here at the Eco Power Stadium. It all starts with Ted Jackson, who is a gym mate of Jack Rafferty and Zach Miller. We then move to amateur sensation John Tom Berry in with Stephen Jackson, and then Bad Brad Casey, the cruiserweight sensation, who's only got, well, the one knockout that he's got so far in his career has been on a Queensbury show, so he'll be hoping to do exactly the same tonight. And then we go to Kian Hamilton against Uri, one of two Dave Allen managed fighters on the show, and then Joe Hayden, probably the jewel in the crown of the Dave Allen kind of managerial stable. Fight number 23 for him against Ryan Frost. And then Carl Fale. Now this should be interesting. Carl Fale was scheduled to fight Dean Sutherland on this show. Sutherland pulled out, and in steps Morales here, who South American, could be one of those kind of banana skins, and hopefully his head is in the game, Carl Fale. Then we go to Asad Kuja Mudin Kujayev, and you'll have to pardon my pronunciation, Olympic gold medalist, 60 points I understand on the Scrabble board, but he picked up plenty of points in the amateurs. A real sensation. Fight number 2 for him tonight. That should be a treat. And then the British and the vacant Commonwealth Lightweight Championships will be on the line. Louis O'Doherty against Ahmed Hatim, unbeaten versus unbeaten. Both of these fighters have been going back and forth this week. All sorts has been going on there, and they will settle it in the ring tonight. And then just before the main event, I'll tell you what, I am looking forward to this one. Michael Gomez Jr. in with Lee McGregor, the vacant WBO Intercontinental Lightweight Championship on the line, and Gomez has been promising a big performance. Remember, in his last fight at lightweight, he broke Jordan Flynn's jaw. McGregor, he may just be too skilled. He did so much as a bantamweight. We're going to find out if he can do it now up at lightweight. Main event, top of your screen, Dave versus Goliath, the biggest moment in the life, in the career of David Allen. I mean, it all comes to a head tonight. He says that he's put in everything into this camp, and he doesn't want to be shown up here in Doncaster. Filip Hrgovic coming to very much ruin the party. Delighted to be joined here by Leighton Burchill. Now, Leighton, I didn't want to see you here next to me. I wanted to see you fighting. You were meant to be fighting tonight. What's happened?
Yeah, same Dev, to be honest. Weighed in yesterday, championship weight. Obviously, to think I was fighting tonight in my first fight back in 6 months due to inactivity. Through the similar thing what happened in February, where I did a full camp and never boxed. And now I've just did a full camp again, made weight, and not fighting again. It's just no one wants to smoke. I can't get an opponent, so...
This is it. It's because you're looking too good.
Yeah.
You're hurting these fellas. You're doing too much damage. Just go easy on them. You'll be fighting every week.
Uncle Frank doesn't like them points, does he? Uncle Frank likes them, likes the knockouts, so that's why we keep delivering, me and my brothers, so...
Yeah.
It's just, I just go in there to do my job, and that's what I do. If I'm avoided, maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, look, in all seriousness, that Queensbury have got you out in Southampton next month as well. They kind of sorted it out ASAP, and that's a good thing, gives you a date to look forward to. And I guess these are just things that happen early on in your career, right, Leighton?
Yeah, well, it shouldn't do, should it? You shouldn't be having problems having to fight, no disrespect to them, journeymen. Do you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be having no other prospects having these problems.
I'll tell you what though, when you get in there in Southampton, you're going to be so G'd up, like this fella's going to go in probably 30 seconds, and then you're going to have the same problem again. No one will want to fight you.
It's just going to it's just going to be youth title galore, maybe.
I think so. I think so.
Hopefully.
How are you seeing this one tonight then, Dave Allen against Filip Hrgovic?
Some fight, I think, to be honest. Listen, he's a massive, massive underdog, and you'd be a fool not to say that, wouldn't you? But I hope he can do it. You know, if he is going to do it, he's going to do it tonight in his career best shape, isn't he? So hopefully he gets it done. Yeah.
He's a man of the people, right? He's so likeable. Like I saw on Thursday, it was after the press conference. He was just up making YouTube videos, like prediction videos, like it's a fight that he's just going to watch on Saturday. People love him lately.
Yeah, he's such a likeable guy, though, isn't he? He's just like one of your own, ain't he? When you're talking to him, it's just like talking to a normal fella.
Yeah.
And now he's home, isn't he? Look, he's in his own hometown football stadium, where I should be fighting, but it's not happening.
What about Filip Hrgovic then? He's got a bit of aura around him, the way he's been walking around all week. You've been kind of backstage and around it all. What are you seeing in Filip Hrgovic?
I think he's a very, very good fighter. You don't become Olympic bronze medalist if you're not a good fighter. And what is he, 19-1?
Yeah, just the one defeat to Daniel Dubois.
19-1. You don't get to top 4 in the world ranked by the Ring magazine if you're not a good fighter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's tremendous. And the one loss is to Daniel Dubois.
The now the world champion.
And that was on cut. So, and by the way, that kind of could be Dave Allen's route to victory. That's the kind of feeling out there from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
If he cuts Hrgovic, and Hrgovic has been cut in his last 3 fights, and things happen in here, that
Money
feels
talks,
like a route. I don't know.
Hopefully Big Dave can get the job done. I wouldn't be looking past Hrgovic if I was Dave, and just get his mind switched on for tonight and have a good scrap.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Daniel Dubois, of course, Fabio Wardley, the rematch is now, it's going to happen. Fabio Wardley has activated his rematch. Just get your kind of thoughts on that, because that, were you there for?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was wow. Couldn't I had to stand up on someone's shoulders. I was too small to look. Everyone was just stood up. So, my God, what a fight. What a fight. Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's one of those where I feel like a lot of people, I was watching ringside, everyone was enthralled, everyone was enjoying, but also started kind of watching it like this as well. You watch it through your fingers.
It was that, like that, It was, listen, as a boxing man, and I love boxing, it's my job, it's what I do. I love to do it, I love to watch wars, but it was starting to get you to start looking through your fingers. It was starting to get a bit of a beat down, wasn't it? And started to feel sorry for Fabio Wardley. Maybe he should have been pulled out earlier, but as a champion, you go out on your spirit, don't you? So. Listen, you've seen it before. He's knocked him out, hasn't he?
That's the thing. Because, like, literally 2 fights before that, he was losing the fight and then landed the punch. He's always got that chance. On the wider kind of heavyweight division, of course, Filip Hrgovic in action tonight. The rumours are out there. It's not me making it up. Go and check your social medias. He's being linked heavily to a fight with Moses Italma. Should he come through? Feels like quite a significant step up for Moses, right?
I don't think there's an heavyweight in the world that can beat Moses Italma. My brother Nelson went all over the world with him, European Games, World Games, and I'm still yet to see a more skillful, and he's strong. He's only 21. He's not even at his proper man strength yet. I've never seen anything like him, to be honest with you. He's a freak of nature.
Yeah, he's absolutely unbelievable.
He's that good, yeah.
But he hasn't been beyond 6 rounds, and I think that's a real kind of question mark right now. If there's any question marks, it's just...
I don't think it's a question mark. I think it's a credit to himself. Just bring Franklin over to give him rounds.
Yeah.
Blew him out. Give up Dempsey McKean. Blew him out. You just can't keep saying give him rounds. He's just doing his job.
I love that. Yeah, that's a very, very good answer.
It's like me if I was in there tonight. I'm not going to go in there and try to get rounds. I'm coming there to knock your teeth down your throat.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's a hurt game, isn't it?
For any circuit fighters watching, you know, that's the message from Leighton Birchall right now. You've got to scare them all off, Leighton. You're doing it again.
That's it, isn't it?
Doing it again. What about Dave Allen? So we know if Filip Hrgovic picks up the win tonight, he's been linked to a fight with Moses Italma. It looks like a fantastic fight on paper, should it happen. But what about Dave Allen? I know this is his everything.
Yeah.
But he's talking about a potential Tyson Fury kind of fight. I mean, that's a very sellable fight should he come through tonight, right?
I wouldn't be looking past tonight or seeing who Dave Allen should fight next. It's this should be Dave's world title fight. This should be Dave's everything, like he said.
Yeah.
If he comes through this, give him anyone, because he deserves it.
Yeah, look, it would be.
If he comes through this, give him anyone. He deserves it.
I think so. I mean, it would be a monumental upset. It would be one of the biggest upsets in British boxing history. Maybe
Bars like jelly. Wow.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
What do you think's the big? This has been a debate, by the way, on social media right now. What would be the bigger upset? Zach Shelley having beaten David Morrell, or Dave Allen beating Filip Hrgovic?
I think it's got to be Dave Allen.
Why?
Because he's so doubted, isn't he? And people know that he's never been at 100%. He might come out here tonight and absolutely splatter Hrgovic because he's come in career best shape. No one knows, do they? No one's seen him at his best.
That's the thing, isn't it? There's that little margin of doubt because he hasn't given it his all in a training camp. There will always be a kind of something left, or maybe he hasn't had the best camp, something's gone wrong, or he hasn't dieted like he should have done. So there is a feeling, you're right, Leighton. We don't know what the best Dave Allen looks like, but maybe we will find out tonight live on DAZN. That is your main event coming up later on. Leighton, thank you for joining me.
Dev.
Because we're about
And your last one.
Well, let's see. Let's kick off the action. Let's head over to Thomas Schreiber.
Let's welcome to the ring, Mighty Mike Biles.
Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Donny, welcome to Doncaster, and welcome to ringside. This man is 38-year-old Mighty Mike Biles from Leamington Spa here in the UK. He's been boxing as a pro for over a decade now, had some good wins in that time, but generally finds himself in the away corner these days, and we'll see what he's about when the opening bell sounds.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the undefeated Ted Jackson.
Well, here we go, fight number 7 for 24-year-old undefeated whole man and whole fan Ted Jackson. A fighter who once had an Olympic dream, but after becoming a national champion, he decided to go at it in the pro game. So far, so good. 6 fights, 6 wins, and he'll be looking to push on again tonight against a tough opponent.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Championship Boxing from Eco Power Stadium in Doncaster, England. We get things started with 4 rounds scheduled in the middleweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Mr. Q Casino, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, and Riyadh Season. A big thanks to those great sponsors. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Michael Alexander. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing a white with red and blue and weighed in officially at 159.1 pounds. Coming to us from Warwick, England, he is a veteran of 22 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mighty Mike Biles. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing orange with black and weighed in officially at 161.11 pounds. Hailing from Hull, England, he is undefeated with 6 wins. 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ted Jackson.
Right, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right?
Well, this is the start of a big evening here in Doncaster. 4 3-minute rounds scheduled in the middleweight division. Mike Biles of Leamington Spa in those white shorts with the painted Union Jack, and Ted Jackson in the whole colours, orange and black there. Both guys getting straight to business, and a stablemate, well, the stable mates of Ted Jackson actually join me at ringside. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you, Darren. Yeah, privileged to be here again. It's a little bit different tonight, you know, having your stablemate in there and watching him from the commentary desk, shall I say. But yeah, first time for everything. He's got off to a very fast start here, Ted. You know, he's popping the jab, he's up in the work rate. He'll know it's only a 4-rounder, so he's more than fit enough for this. But I just hope he listens to Steve's instructions and gets the job done clinically.
Well, Jack, you and Zach will know what Ted's like more than anyone, and you'll be knowing the things which he does well. What are you spotting already, Jack? What's already going to plan for him?
He started off sharp. He started off listening to Steve. You know, he's caught with a belting shot there, and another one.
He's hit him here with a left hook. Lovely shot, and he's
Jackson.
down.
The Biles hits the canvas. His legs did go a little bit wobbly there, but he looks to his corner, and I think...
Yeah, Steve's telling him to get straight back on the jab. Don't want him to rush or smother his work.
Straight shots now. Don't need to smother it.
Lovely jab landed.
Jackson straight out the corner there. Got Biles on the ropes and really starting to let those shots go. No,
the ref's having a look here now.
Shots followed by the left hook. And he's manhandling Mike Biles here, who's still coming forward and lands a good left hook to the body of his own. But Jackson brushes it off and gets straight back to business.
Steve don't want him to get the grab, he don't want him to...
Don't need to be close there, needs to keep it at range, you know, and he's looking for a rest and holding.
Yeah, he don't want to smother his work here, Ted. He wants to keep him on the end of them long shots. He's still hurt here, Biles, and there's a minute left in the round.
Good 1-2 there from Jackson, who's nice and springy on his toes.
There we go, lovely range on the end of the shots again with a 1-2. Ref's going to have a look here. And there we go.
There we go. Great finish.
And the referee has seen enough, and Ted Jackson wins in the opening round, in the opening fight of the night. And you can see how much it means to the corner team over there.
There's been a lot of hard work put into that fight. You know, he should have been on a bigger, bigger more rounds. And, you know, it's a little bit of reward for all the hard work. You know, he's proud of us, proud of his team, and absolutely buzzing.
Lovely work from Ted there. That's his second camp with us now at the Finest Gym, and you can see the improvements massively he's got in there, and he's done us all proud tonight. That was a quality performance.
Well, it could be a good couple of weeks for Ted Jackson. He's fought, he's got the victory. His team whole.
There he is, Teddy boy, good lad.
Will play Southampton in a playoff final next week, and as a massive Hull City fan, I'm sure he will be there. He just peers over the ropes to the commentary position here. Big smile on his face. But Thomas Schreiber has the official time, so we shall head over to him now to hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 12 seconds of round number 1. Our referee, Michael Alexander, steps in to stop the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Ted Jackson.
Well, it didn't take long for Ted Jackson to get the job done here in Doncaster. And he just raises that Hull City flag as he poses for pictures with the team. Huge smiles on every single one of them. As Zach Miller and Jack Rafferty just said at ringside, they know, they've been in camp with him, how much work has gone into that. One, into that opportunity, but also into getting a victory like that. But he'll just make his way down to the press area to join his teammates and to also join Mr. Dev Sani.
Ted Jackson, congratulations, what a win!
Yeah, I'm buzzing to get the first round stoppage. I've only had one before, so been in the new gym, it's showing the work that we're doing, so.
Great team photo at the end, you got your whole scarf as well, and as you say, at the new gym, with these boys, iron sharpens iron, right? How did you get it done tonight?
Just listening to the instructions, what we were doing in the training room before we came out, I could just feel my knuckles are digging into our pads. I knew if they were digging into his head, it wasn't going to be nice, so just carrying on with that.
You boys happy with that?
Dev, listen, it's his second camp with us, and he didn't have a long one last time, and you can see the improvements now coming on massively. But I might put that down to myself. He's been on the weights with me. I've had him getting stronger, and he's gone and got the stoppage. So
get them 30s up next.
That's it, mate. He's boxed well tonight. He's got in there and he's done his job, Dev.
I love it. I mean, Jack, you were talking about the sacrifices that this man has made, taking himself away from home, right? I mean, it's quite the story.
Yeah, he's away from home, you know, you've got to appreciate a 25-year-old lad away from home, waiting for his girlfriend, and, you know, tonight he's listened to what's been instructed in the gym, and he's got a little bit of reward there tonight of a first round stoppage. We're all proud of him, proud of himself, and, you know, what a show to, what platform to perform on, you know, putting promotion of his own, absolutely brilliant and over the moon for him.
You know what, it's incredible, Ted, because we only saw you for like a minute or so, but so much has gone into that one, right? It's more than just a minute of work.
Yeah, you know, like Jack says, I've moved to Manchester, and like, this gym's the top, probably the best gym in the country, and Steve's took a chance on me, he's took me in. I'm around these lads every day, and like, how can I not get better? And it's just, that's where I'm going to be, and it's a lot of hard work, and it's moments like this, it makes you feel like it's worth it.
Paying off.
What does this sport mean to you?
Like I said, I've seen what Jack did last weekend, and it's just a little glimpse of what's to come hopefully for me as well, and it's just like, them big nights is what I look forward to. And,
have you got dreams of fighting at Hull?
100%. I look around now and I see all these empty seats for when I'm fighting, but I know it's going to happen Monday at the MKM, so we're off to Wembley next week. I'm not sure we'll do that big, but
top man, we're going to let you go. Congratulations.
Ted, brother.
What a man. What a man. Ted Jackson. I'll tell you, don't stand me anywhere near him. I think he's a model as well, right?
He does a bit of everything, that man. He's a good-looking lad.
Some guys just have it all, right?
Some can, some can't.
Some can, some can't, that's it.
Some can, some can't. Very good tonight, right?
Very impressed, you know. Like I was saying there, he's dedicated himself, he's been listening to Stephen. Like Zach said, he's had a short camp, he's had a bit of a long camp, jumped straight back into camp off his last fight, and that's where you get repetition, you get better, and tonight he's shown it.
Look, I love the vibe with you, I love the vibe in the ring as well. Tom was in there, and obviously Steve Malett. What is the vibe like in the gym? Is it just like that every day?
Yeah, it is. We're just all real people, but we love each other to bits, and when it's time to knuckle down and work hard, we do that. I'm over the moon for Ted. Like Jack said, he's sacrificing a lot, and that's one of the rewards there. To fight on such a big stage, you know, Queensborough Promotions on your 7th fight, you're going to put a bit of pressure on yourself. You're going to want to get him, and you're going to want to perform, and that's what he's gone and done. I'm over the moon for him.
You're over the moon just like you were last weekend, right, when this man picked up a tremendous win against Echo Esserman. I mean, Jack, how do you look back on it now?
I'm still a fan point of view. I can't believe I was a part of that show. I watched Daniel Dubois versus Wardley, and I was stood ringside thinking, wow, these were here for me 10 minutes ago. Listen, I'm very proud, but like we were saying before with Ted, we put the hard work in the gym, and we're getting the rewards of it, you know. Listen, boxing's tough. It's one of the toughest sports, if not the toughest sport in the world. And, you know, we're getting the rewards of the hard work in the gym, and it's good.
Is it a fight that you've watched back now?
I'm not paying to watch myself, Dev. I can't bring myself to it. I'm not paying. I'm only joking his own. I remember it. Why, you know, like I remember it like last week.
But you won't watch it back, no?
I've not watched it back just yet, you know. I don't like watching them back, and maybe in a couple of weeks I'll watch it with Steve, and Steve will find something I've done wrong, so I'll have to work on that, definitely.
So what happens happens now with Jack Rafferty? Because, like, the division's hot. Like, I saw actually a little moment earlier on where you and Connor Walker kind of crossed paths. Is that a potential?
Of course, like, when I sparred Connor, that was the first thing he said. We're going to end up fighting. You know, if it happens, it happens. You know, he takes fights, any fights, I take any fight. If that happens, it happens. I think he's quite high up in for the IBF, you know. Listen, I want good money fights, what will cement my career and take away a bit of money from the sport. And if it's Connor will say exactly the same. If it's Connor, you know, but going to take a couple of weeks off. Well, I've not took a week off, not even took a day off yet, but I'm going to be working on myself, being the best possible Jack Rafferty, and whatever's next ranking, you decide that, and I'll be taking it with both hands.
That would be quite a scrap though, wouldn't it, Jack and Connor Walker? Were you in the gym when they sparred?
No, I actually wasn't there, Jeff, but I was going to want. You're probably paid to watch that sparring, and it's a fight that British fans want to see, but I think whatever fight you see Jack in, it's going to be an exciting fight. He's put himself in that position now where it's not big fights, it's massive fights. And it's exciting times for us all in the gym, but I'm just glad to see boxing back where it should be. It's absolutely booming. Fighters are fighting fighters who they should be fighting. There's no ducking and diving. There's real fights being made, and that's what I like about the sport.
So what about you then, Mr. Miller, Little Baby Miller? Are you going with Little Baby Miller?
I'll go with whatever you want.
Yeah. We're going to call Zach Miller Little Baby Miller. Obviously, your big brother is Big Baby Miller. What's happening with you? You and Liam Davis were meant to fight, and then he pulled out. No, you pulled out. You couldn't fight him, and what's going on?
So the surgery's gone well. I'm back in the gym. I'm back punching, and whatever my team want me to do, I do. I just get told what I'm doing off Steve, and that's what I want to do. But as I said before with Jack, he's in big fights now, and that's what I want. So we'll see what happens.
What did you think of Liam's performance last time out?
I thought Liam boxed very well. I wanted Liam to go and get the win. You know, it makes for a bigger fight for us too. And I thought he boxed very well. He done the job that he needed to do, and he looked well doing it.
He did. I was looking forward to that fight. There was a brilliant build-up where I think you said it was built like a noodle or something like that. Well, you tell me.
It was the cheese string shout, wasn't it? Went a bit viral, but listen, the fight between me and Liam's still there. There's loads of big fights in the division, and I'm in the fights that I want to be in. Do you know what I mean? I want the big fights and the big nights. So, listen, I'm coming back from injury now. I'm getting there and I'm building myself back up, and I'll be in them fights soon enough.
Yeah, listen, a brilliant fight on the undercard as well. There's so much coming up. Michael Gomez Jr. against Lee McGregor. Now, I'm assuming that you guys know a little bit about Michael Gomez Jr.
Yeah, I've done a lot of rounds with Gomez. He is what he says on the tin. He's a bit like a blueprint of his dad. He is one way, and that's forward. That is forward. The guy's a bit of a madman, but listen, he's hilarious, and he'll get in there, and he is an hard night's work for anyone.
He absolutely is. Well, it's one way to Thomas Triber. Let's crack on with the action.
Let's welcome to the ring, Steven Jackson.
But the action continues, and a man marching to the ring now is 32-year-old Lancashire man, Steven Jackson. 72 bouts to his name, and in his 70 defeats, only 3 have managed to get him out of there. He's been in there with some top talent over the years and gone the distance many, many, many times. And I'm sure that's exactly what the plan is tonight.
And now let's welcome to the ring, John Tom Very.
And here is our next fighter, the opponent of Steven Jackson, from a incredibly talented fighting family, John Tom Very. Boxes out of the Box Smart Elite Gym in Walsall with Shiny Singh. Made his professional debut on the undercard of Joshua Buatsi versus Zach Parker in Manchester last year. One of the most talented amateurs I've had the pleasure of both watching and commentating on. And now it's a privilege to be doing exactly the same thing in his professional career as he looks to move to 2-0 here this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the Super flyweight division. Brought to you by Frank Ward for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors. Mr. Q Casino, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, and Riyadh Season. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Michael Alexander. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 117.5 pounds. Coming to us from Manchester, England, he is a veteran of 72 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stephen Jackson! And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing green with gold and weighed in officially at 117.13 pounds. Hailing from Morecambe, England, he is undefeated with one victory. Ladies and gentlemen, here is John Tom Berry.
Well, as you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? Touch gloves.
Well, fight number 2 for John Tom Berry. Fight number 73 for Stephen Jackson. Jackson boxing in the orthodox stance with the black shorts and black boots. John Tom Berry in the green shorts with those bright pink socks of his as he tries to set the pace here, like he did in his debut, actually. Zach, we did his debut, and he is a bit of a relentless fighter, punches in bunches, and he doesn't, if you can remember, doesn't let the pressure go at any point, does he? He's constant.
Yeah, I remember doing his debut with you, Darren, and as we've seen there, I remember he's got very fast hands and he's straight to the point. He's come out here tonight, you know, he's cutting the ring off well, and he never goes too far out of range. He's always in punching distance there, letting his hands go lovely to hooks. But I remember him being a nice, tidy boxer, Darren, and that's what we're seeing here straight away from the off.
You can always tell those fighters who have got that background in the amateurs because they do the basics, the foundation so very well. John Tom Berry is absolutely one of those.
Yeah, then listen, Stephen Jackson, he's better than what his record suggests. He has been in there with every type of fighter, and if he can navigate us through these 4 rounds without taking too much punishment, he will. But John Tom's got straight on the front foot and he's landing some nice shots.
Just constant with Berry, punch after punch, non-stop. He's always doing something or giving his opponents something to think about. Like you said, an extremely experienced fighter is Stephen Jackson, who gets clipped there with a left hook from Berry, fighting in that southpaw stance.
Yeah, and he switches back to orthodox effortlessly. You don't really know if he's doing it. I don't think he knows whether he's doing it or not. He's just so relaxed in each stance, but he's taken a lot of punishment here, Jackson, a lot more than I usually see him take, especially this early on in the first round.
I was just about to say that, actually, Zach. He is normally quite elusive, isn't he? But I think that's probably credit to Berry, who's not allowing him to be, because he's cutting the ring off well, and every single time that Jackson thinks an attack is ending, another one starts him.
Yeah, I think it's down to the range. The judgment of range is very good. As I said, he's just always one step away, so he's keeping the pressure on even when he's not throwing. He's making Jackson work hard.
He's definitely giving something to think about, you know. Stephen's a veteran of the sport. He's been in, like Zach said, with the many fighters, and he's not getting a second day switching from orthodox to southpaw, and, you know, he's really making him think.
Great work with the left hand there from Berry. He's done that nicely a few times where he's gone upstairs with a left hook and then turned it down low under the right elbow of Jackson. He goes into the southpaw stance himself there, then switches back, and the body work is consistent there from Berry, who's adept. It doesn't really matter where he is. He's quite happy to fight on the inside of the pocket, but he's a bit of a mid-range fighter the majority of the time. And he's got the bit between his teeth tonight, Jack.
Yeah, he's got his bit between his teeth, and he's reddening up of his opponent there, Stephen. He started off with a bust nose.
But he comes from an unbelievably talented family, does John Tom Very. His cousin Thomas Very is going to be a big problem. He's already 11-0, 12-0. His younger brother Ophi doing good things as well. And very sadly, his older brother Frank passed away in 2021. And he has, rest in peace, Frank, on the back of his shorts there. He was tipped to be a future star of the sport. A wonderful family of boxers, I'm sure. And I'm sure that John Tom will have his brother in his mind every step of the way of his journey. But a strong start, Zach.
Yeah, a very strong start. I'm sure the corner will be very, very pleased with that first round. I just like the way he's straight down to business. He's cutting the ring off well, he's cutting the range well. He's boxing very nicely, and I like the way that he's not showing any respect. He knows not much he's going to come back off Jackson, so he's just going and going again. I've seen him do maybe 2 or 3 phases, then, you know, he's just going through the gears, and he's not headhunting. You know, he's switching it up body and head, which is good to see. You get a lot of the young pros coming through now, and they're looking for the head shots, they're looking for that knockout shot, but John Tom's just working him over. It's good to see.
But Jackson just kind of kept hold of the arm for far too long there. But Very made sure that he kind of paid the price for that, because he hit him with about 5 or 6 shots in a row.
Yeah, I think something registered downstairs, keeping his hold of his hand that long, you know. He's not liking this pressure, he's not liking this relentlessness, and, you know, it's a mini tornado coming at him. He's not liking it whatsoever.
Tell you what, Jack, it's going to feel like a very long night at the office, even just 4 rounds, isn't it, if we get there? Because it must have felt like 3 or 4 rounds already with the pace that Very's working at.
Yeah, definitely. And the referee was seeing this, you know. He'll only take so much punishment like this, and I think the referee will rave it off.
Yeah, I seen Jackson then a second ago. He went for about 3 or 4 grabs, and Very just adjusted the range that little bit and allowed Jackson not to get the grab, and it's just allowed him to keep his shots going and the work continuing, and the refs staying very, very close to the action.
Well, I have called many, many of Stephen Jackson's fights, and I can't remember him looking this uncomfortable, actually. He's normally looking a little bit more in control, if you like, as he goes around the outskirts of the ring, but there's been a few kind of deep sighs and big, deep breaths. And he's had to compose himself, get himself back together, and work out a bit of a plan.
Yeah, he has, Darren, and off Jackson usually you get a little bit more output, and he's not wanting to do that tonight. It's because of what's coming back.
Jackson nearly got through with that straight right hand of his. Landed millimetres from the nose of Very. That one got through.
Yeah, I think he's definitely feeling the pace of this. He's not liked it from get-go. John Tom set a pace, and, you know, he's stuck with it, and it's definitely hitting home. I think if he keeps that body work, you know, listen, Stephen's tough to the head. He's been there, done that. I think if he keeps chopping away at that body like he's done there, he's not liking it. He's taking his breath away.
Do you think the body work from Very has slowed Jackson down a bit, Zach?
Yeah, I think it has. I think it's definitely slowed him down, and I just think the way he's switching it body and head, it's just making Jackson think a little bit more. You know, he don't really know what's coming, and Very's not loading up as such. He's changing the pace on the shots. He'll throw 2 slower, and then he'll whip one into the body, but that's keeping Jackson guessing, which I like to see, but Jackson doesn't know where they're coming from at the minute. Lovely 2 shots at the end of the round here. Wow.
Well, that is a very strong way to end this round here. Jack, do you think there's anything that Jackson can do to kind of get himself back in this fight?
I think he needs to take a deep breath here. You know, I don't think his corner will let this go much longer. You know, it's a lot of punishment for what it is. You know, he's taking a lot of shots to the head and body. If his corner work doesn't stop it, I think the referee will do this round. You know, definitely. If he's not in the 3rd round, it'll be in the 4th. He keeps his pressure up. It's quite intense. He's feeling it, like you said, Darren. He's taking the deep sighs, the deep breaths, and there's only so much of that you can take.
There is. Well, we know for anyone who's followed John Tom Very in this fight camp on social media or anything else, he really does take this game unbelievably seriously. Lives in Morecambe, trains in Warsaw. He does a 300-mile round trip to go to train him every single week, to go and train at the Box Smart Elite Gym with Shiny Singh. That is dedication, and when you see that dedication from a young man like him, you know that the future is most definitely bright. But here we go, round 3 of 4, if we get there.
And as you said, Darren, then he's making a lot of sacrifices, and he's getting in here tonight. Yeah, it might only be a 4-rounder against Steve Jackson, but he's making them sacrifices worthwhile. He's not coming here wanting to just see the 4 rounds out and get the win. He's going in there, and he's want to get Jackson out of there. You can see that very intentions from the first round, and going into the 3rd round there, he's keeping it up, which is good to see.
One of the things I just noticed there with Very is, yeah, he's obviously throwing a lot of punches and he's constantly cutting the ring off when he's on the front foot. But he's a good thinker as well. You can watch him. He doesn't think for too long, and I just watched Jackson fall in, and then you could see Very adjust and land the uppercut there. But I'm starting to sense that he can smell a little bit of blood, guys.
Oh, 100%, yeah, he's stepping on the gas here. Jackson's trying to grab there now, yeah, using all the tricks of the trade he will if he can, but listen, Johnson Very has come to do a job on Stephen Jackson.
Very was keen to be out earlier on in the year, ended up on this card, a good card to be on. As a young fighter, he will be super keen to be as active as he possibly can, and he is laser focused. His eyes haven't for a moment strayed from the Lancashire man Stephen Jackson, who is red all round his back, round his sides. You can see it all in his body, because goodness knows how many times those body shots have got through. And from where we are, you can really hear those stingers as they go in. And Jackson got caught with a right hand there, and the left hook to the body made him dip below just a moment before that shot landed.
Still plenty of time left in this round. You know, the referee's quite close, as that was saying before. I think if he keeps chipping away at that body, listen, Stephen's tough there. All these, you know, so-called journeymen, they can take it to the head, but I think if he slow that tank down, chipping away at the body, and, you know, I think he'll get the stoppage.
I think you're onto something there, Jack, because looking at the referee, he hasn't taken his eyes off of Stephen Jackson at all in the last 45 seconds. He kind of switched from both fighters to just staring at him. And maybe another flurry on the punch, flurry of punches on the rope, sorry, will quite possibly do the job as we go into 40 seconds. The last 40 seconds of the 3rd round. And Very does not want him holding on, Zach, at all, does he?
No, it's relentless work, Darren, but as you said earlier, it's thoughtful work. You can see that by the punch variation. Even Stephen Jackson, then he threw a double jab back, he parried one and slipped one. The kid's switched on. That's why he's not just throwing for throwing's sake. He actually is picking the shots. He's finding the openings to the body, and it's good to see. You don't see this many people land this many shots on Stephen Jackson.
This is one of the many things I like about the lower weight divisions, is the speed and the tempo that these guys fight at. But also, Zach, as we mentioned in the opening round, we were fortunate to be there for his professional debut. I feel like he's developed quite a lot since then. You know, like there's been quite a step up.
Yeah, I think he has, and I don't remember him punching this hard. I don't remember hearing the thudding shots.
Do you think that's because he's been there, he's done it, the nerves are gone now? Well, there'd always be nerves, but you know what I mean, it's not your debut. Like, he's a bit more, he gets a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, of course, and it's another camp. The camp might have been 12, 14, 16 weeks, you don't know since when he, how long ago was it, Darren, when he boxed?
It was October, November last year.
Well, there you go, look, he's had a lot of time to develop. He's a young man, he'll slowly maturing, getting his man strength, and I can see a little bit of that coming through tonight, Darren.
In his professional debut, he was saying it was quite the experience, especially when Derek Chisora walked into his dressing room. Not the kind of face that he was expecting to see. And he did give him a bit of advice. It was nothing to do with the actual boxing. He said, as soon as you get in the dressing room, just make sure you put your boots on. And he asked him why. And he said, because you don't want to slip over and ruin the fight. Sterling advice from War Chisora.
Couldn't have got it any better.
But this is the 4th and final round. And Jackson's done very well to still be here and still throwing punches. He is getting beaten to the punch 99 times out of 100. And I wrote down on my notes from last time about how aggressive the style was of Very. And that absolutely continues.
Yeah, like you're saying there, Darren, with the aggression, I think we were saying before, I think he's developed, I think he's thickened out in, you know, in good ways. His arms look bigger, his back looks bigger, and another camp, like Zach was saying, you know, he's developing as a fighter. I can see his performance has got better. He's obviously listened to his coaches, and he knows where he wants to go. Another top-class performance there, and on to another big show.
He's going to be entertaining to watch, isn't he, Jack? Because of that style, he's not just technically good, but because he goes forward and he's got some venom about him and he's unforgiving, I can imagine 10 fights time he could start to be a bit of a name, couldn't he?
Definitely. He's fast, sharp and strong. You know, he's getting better each fight. He's relentless. You know, I like how he's holding up the range. You know, he's not falling short. You know, he's holding his feet quite well and he's letting his shots go. We were saying before, you know, he's just letting the shots go. He's not thinking about it. He knows what's in front of him and he knows what he wants to do, and he's doing it very well.
I've got to say, I always do give props to those away corner fighters, a journeyman. Got to have a lot of admiration for those guys. Some job.
You have, Darren, and they're getting there week in, week out, and they do what they need to be doing. And the likes of John Tomvera, the lads coming through, they won't be doing this if it wasn't for these Stephen Jacksons of the game. And they're getting there and they give you a test, but this has been no test tonight for John Tomvera.
Oh, lovely body shot there from the southpaw stance.
Some big shots getting landed here. I think the referee's definitely having a look.
Still 45 seconds, which is a long time when there's barrages of punches which are flying at you from every single angle. Over and over again.
It's been relentless from the first round. Relentless.
And I guess that's another good thing about these 4-rounders at the start of fighters' careers, because they can afford to really put some energy into it, can't they?
Yeah, they can put the foot on the gas.
Not that it's not hard work.
No, it's still hard work, but they can put the foot on the gas. But the thing is with these 4-rounders, the journeymen see the finish line a little bit quicker, and it gives them that incentive to hear the final bell. And I think this is what Stephen Jackson's done tonight.
Well, we said it in his ring walk that he'll be looking to go the distance, and he will be thrilled to hear the sound of that final bell. And I bet of all the fighters who Stephen Jackson has boxed over the years, John Tomberry will be one that sticks in his brain.
Oh, they'll stick in his brain, all right, especially tomorrow morning. But no, I bet he's glad to hear the final bell of that 4-rounder.
He will most certainly know that he's been in a fight, and surely, of course, John Tomberry must have won every single round there. And knowing what he's like, it'll be a few days off and he will be straight back to business as soon as he possibly can.
I think that's the only way you get better. You know, like we were saying there, straight back in the gym, you keep that momentum. He'll be coming away with a good win. You know, unlucky didn't get the stoppage, but credit to his opponent. And he'll be off that buzz. He'll be back in the gym working on things. It's good when you don't get to, you know, you ain't got an opponent, because you can learn on things. You don't have to learn against your opponent. And he'll be back, like you said, he'll be back in the gym and perfecting his craft.
Well, Thomas Triber is poised and ready, so over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Michael Alexander, scores it 40-36 for your winner, and still undefeated, John Tomberry.
But there you go, confirmed, sealed, delivered, 2-0, John Tomberry, a sterling performance, very well done to him. There's so much more action to continue here in Doncaster. Plenty more to come on the prelims. Bad Brad Casey is in next, and then it is Dave Allen managed Kian Hamilton, followed by another Dave Allen fighter in Joe Hayden. He takes on Ryan Frost. And then one half of the fighting twins, the Fale twins, Carl Fale in there against a tough Mexican in Luis Morales. And then, of course, it is the main card, which will be live on DAZN from 7 p.m. Paris 2024. I forgot what year it was, Zach. 2024 gold medalist Moining Kujayev in there against Torres, and then O'Doherty versus Haytim, followed by Gomez Jr. versus Scotland's Lee McGregor, and then Dave Allen gets his night in Donny at the stadium against the Ring Magazine number 5, Filip Hrgovic.
He does, Darren, and it's a massive night for him and all of Doncaster. As I said earlier, he is a people's person, and he's going to want to come here tonight and put a show on for his people.
He kind of hasn't really put too much pressure on himself, has he, Dave Allen? And he's had a strange career. When you look back at some of the fighters he's fought, he headlined at the O2 Arena against Lucas Brown, he fought Luis Ortiz. There's just a whole vast range of different fighters. I've got to be honest, Jack, I didn't think we'd be sitting there in the stadium about to watch him fight Filip Hrgovic later, did you?
No, definitely not. Like you were saying about his career, it's been ups and downs, which boxing's like that. You know, he's had his great wins, he's had some losses, and he's back here tonight in his hometown, you know, against a top fighter. Some people will be saying, why has he chose his opponent? He knows what's next, what could come after this. You know, he wants it. He wants a top fight, and that's what he's got.
Well, we're ready for the action to continue. So is Thomas Schreiber, so over to him.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Renars Rusins.
Well, it's time for the cruiserweights now. And this cruiserweight is 38-year-old Latvian Renars Rusins, based in Finland, where all 5 of his fights have been so far. And he comes into this fight off the back of a first round stoppage win. Of course, he would love to have a bit more about it here this evening in Doncaster.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Bad Brad Casey.
Well, Bad Brad Casey looks like he means business as he walks to the ring to the sound of LaRue. He's 6'3", just 21 years old, and so far it's been so good on the pro side of the game. 4 fights, 4 wins, and all 4 of them he has made look easy. Trained by Ash Martin at the Legion's gym, and in there with another very talented up-and-coming fighter, this one in the heavyweight division, Leo Atang. We'll see how he gets on when the opening bell sounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the cruiserweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Mr. Q Casino, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, and Riyadh Season. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Howard Foster. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with silver and weighed in officially at 198 pounds. Coming to us from Riga, Latvia, he brings a professional record consisting of 1 win, 2 defeats, 2 draws, with that 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Renars Rusins. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing white, black, and gold and weighed in officially at 200.9 pounds. Hailing from York, England, he is undefeated with 4 wins. 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Bad Brad Casey.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both of you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch, love. Good luck.
Well, fight number 5 for bad Brad Casey. We've seen him on Queensbury shows before, and he's done the business. Had a good amateur career, did bad Brad. Brought a few with him here this evening as well. He looks ultra relaxed as we go into the first few moments of the opening round. Got some good knowledgeable boxing people around him, managed by Sonny Edwards and Anto Fitzpatrick. As I said, trained by Ash Martin in that Legion's gym, which is doing well, exceptionally well, especially with the young talent. And that was a nice left hook and a right hand straight through the middle, Zach.
Yeah, he's got straight to business here, has Brad. He's got a perfect record up to now, you know. He's in the gym there with young Leo Watangan. A little bit of competition between the boys. They're going to keep impressing and, you know, stepping up through the ranks together. And this is just another step in that direction here for Brad Casey. But he's got off to a great start. He looks well, popping the jab. And yeah, he's got this man in front of him and he's throwing a few back. He's not just covering up.
Yeah, Rusin's threw a straight right hand and a jab there. Both of those got through, ever so slightly jolted the head back of Casey. He shrugs it off and is sticking to his boxing. That's a good jab there. Feinted, got through with one, then that right hand followed to the body.
Yeah, he's keeping it nice and basic to start with. He'll be having a look at what Rusin's got, you know. He's going to want to see what he's going to throw back and not take any punishment, Brad.
Nice left hook there from a 21-year-old from York. You forget how young some of these fighters are and how early on they are into their careers as well. And he's keeping Rusin's really guessing here at all times because the feints are subtle, but he's falling for him almost every time, Jack.
Yeah, he's falling for him, you know. He's got him buying them feints. You know why he calls him Big Bad Brad. He's a big fella. He's buying them feints and he's letting them shots go. He's looking well, you know. Look at the size of the chip arms on the fella. He's a big man.
He is, Jack, and he's got Rusin snatching at the feints here. He's making him twitch, you know. We don't know where they're coming from, and I can tell you now, if Rusin starts to throw any lazy shots, Brad will capitalise on them straight away.
That's going to be the thing there, as Brad seizes the opportunity to land that left hook under the elbow, and the left screwed shot followed, and he's starting to get into his groove a little bit here. It's been a relatively slow start, but a slow start with some good work as we go into the last 20 seconds or so of the opening round. This one's scheduled for 4 in the cruiserweight division. If you just joined us, welcome along. This is fight number 3 of 6 on the prelims.
Yeah, he's had a steady start to this round here, Brad, but he's turned the screw ever so slightly, you know. From a minute and a half on, he has turned the screw and he's up the work rate. And Rusin's got to stick with him.
Is he going to be able to stick with him, Jack?
I don't think so. I think how early he's bought them feints, I think when he starts slowing down there, Rusin, and, you know, them shots start landing a bit cleaner, I think they're going to pay the toll, you know, and I don't think we're seeing that 4th round guy, to be honest.
Do you think, Zach, that the feints which work so well when he's going to throw that jab, Brad, is that going to get worse?
Yeah, it's
going to in as he gets more tired.
Yeah, Rusin, as he gets more tired, he's going to start buying the feints a little bit more. You're not as switched on mentally, so he will start to buy the feints, and he'll probably start to throw a lazy shot back or a shot out of being...
And that's where he gets him.
Yeah, and that's where he gets him. He'll throw a shot out of just being... wanting to keep Brad off, but Brad will set that trap and he'll throw that... He might throw a, you know, a lazy jab or a lazy one too, and Brad will capitalise on that, but I'd like to see him just slowly start to turn the screw.
Well, lots of positive stuff being said about this young man. He's done plenty of sparring with good experienced fighters. The likes of Liam Cameron's done some rounds of him. Also did a bit with Darren Till and many others. And there's that right hand over the top there. Rusin's felt that one. It registered.
Yeah.
You could see it while he just had a big blink and kind of had to remind himself of where he was for a moment.
Yeah, he did, but he set that shot up. He threw the jab to the body first. He brought down the hands of Rusin, then he put that right hand over the top. So he's not just throwing that right hand willy-nilly, you know. He's setting that shot up, as we see there again.
And that jab went straight through the middle, follows it up with a 1-2, and Rusin's is really having a hard night at the office here because the nose is reddening, the face is reddening, and those shots are powerful. You can hear them thud from a couple of feet away from where we are. And there's that favourite shot of his.
Yeah, the big shots what get landed here, you know, the vibrate at my feet, never mind Russin's. I think I like the boxing here from Brad. You know, he's feinting, he's bringing his hands down, he brings hands in front, and he's bringing them around the feints.
Yeah, and the shot variation's good. He's putting that right hand downstairs and then he's putting it back up top. It's just keeping Rusin guessing. It's smart but sensible work.
Lovely left hook underneath the right elbow.
Yeah,
from
and Brad held his,
again.
yeah, and that Rusin stepped back then, but Brad held his feet and let Rusin create the range for him, and he threw off it. It's clever.
Rusin's has adjusted.
Lovely
Lovely right hand over the top there from Casey. He knows that he landed it beautifully, and he's going to put his foot on the gas here, and Rusin's will rightly so just try and grab hold of him and keep hold of him for as long as he possibly can, but Casey will have absolutely none of it as he marches forward, head and body, body and head. And as Rusin's just about weathered the storm, still 1 minute left in the round. It's a long time to stay on your feet when you've got a man the stature of Casey coming at you. That was another big right hand from Casey. And Howard Foster really having a good look at Renars Rusin now.
Got 50 seconds left, Aaron. He's not letting him get a grab yet. You know, he's continuing that work, and the ref is having a really, really close look here. A couple of clean shots, and I think he will jump in.
He's a big flurry away from stopping. No, I think if he keeps putting this pressure on like he's doing there, lets his hands go, I think the referee will wave it off.
Yeah, he's not rushing his work. Another right hand lands and left up to the body as well, Darren.
And Casey dug his toes into the canvas for that one as he loaded it up, and if he can keep Rusins here for a period of time, Howard Foster may well see enough, and
there we go, and Howard jumps in.
There it is.
I think correct decision.
It was always coming, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was coming there. He didn't need he bought his time well there. You know, he didn't smother it too much. He didn't throw too many. You know, sometimes you can blow yourself out, and I think he got that right there, Brad, and, you know, on to the next.
Yeah, I think the ref got the right decision as well. You know, there was going to be another 2 rounds left of that, and I think the punishment were just going to get worse and worse, to be fair.
Rusins just could not keep up with the pressure. Casey continuously cut the ring off, but he was really mature with it as well. There was loads of opportunities for him to just empty the tank, if you like, and go for it, but he didn't do that. He was clever with his boxing. He worked off the jab, feinted, got through with the shots, and in the end it was just far too much for Renars Rusins of Latvia. And Casey moves to 5-0 with 2 KOs on another big TV show. Well done to him. And here is Thomas Treiber with the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes 46 seconds of round number 2. Our referee in charge, Howard Foster, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Bad Brad Casey.
Well, we've got a little bit of time in between now and our next fight. So, Mr. Rafferty, I know you've already spoken about it with Deb, but for people just joining us who would have seen your performance last week, victory over Echo Esserman in front of 18,000 people at the Co-op Live in Manchester. Have you slept a wink yet?
No, definitely not after the fight until Sunday night. It was, what a night. I'm still taking it as a fan. You know, never mind my fight. I can't believe I was a part of such a massive event. You know, Queen's Promotion, DAZN, doing amazing things in the sport, you know, bringing boxing great in Britain, and I was a part of that. I was, you know, got a good win against a good opponent, and, you know, like I was saying, what a show, and I was proud to be a part of it.
Do you know what? One of the things, and we were speaking about this off air earlier on, is if only you could bottle that feeling and sell, and you could sell that, you'd be worth an absolute fortune, wouldn't you?
What?
But with the 18,000 people who experienced that last week, and the atmosphere in there was incredible. Zach was ringside with me doing the commentary, but everyone at home as well was just like, wow. But what was it like for you walking out there as the co-main event?
Like you were saying there, co-main event to, you know, Dubois, Wardley. It was it's only things I can dream of. You know, there was massive boxing eyes on that weekend, and I was a part of it, and luckily enough I performed and done what I had to do. I was a great, you know, co-main event to it. Very proud, and 18,000 people there, you know, tuning in. Never mind how many people was watching at home. It was a proud moment for myself, and I worked hard for them moments, and long live them.
And well done to you, because you did work hard for it. You did it the hard way. You came up on the small hall scene, had that massive win over Henry Turner, and since then, my goodness, he's been like an absolute steam train. But talking of steam trains, Zach Miller, what a heavyweight contest last week that we were a couple of metres away to watch. It was unbelievable between Dubois and Wardley. Have you got over that?
It was unbelievable. I actually watched the highlights back yesterday, and wow, some of the shots that were going in was unbelievable. And I think everyone in there that night, or whoever tuned in live on DAZN, it was some experience. And I don't think I've been ringside for a better heavyweight fight than that ever. And
I agree with you on that.
It's going to take some beating, Darren. That fight will take some beating. It was like watching a Rocky film. It was something special, and the full night was special, as Jack was saying, you know, to be a part of it. I know I wasn't fighting, but Darren, we was there, we was a part of it, and being a part of Jack's camp, it was fantastic to be there. And is Manchester becoming the Mecca of boxing in Britain? I think it is.
Well, look at the nights we've had in Manchester in the last 12 months. Look at the nights Queensbury have put on in the last 12 months in Manchester. It's unbelievable. And one thing we do know is Fabio Wardley has activated the rematch clause, which means we are going to see Dubois versus Wardley again. How do you see the second one going, Jack?
Exactly the same, but even worse. Listen, he can have a little bit of something between his teeth. He wants back what he's lost. Dubois wants to keep what he's got. And I think we're set there for another absolutely amazing fight. Listen, if that didn't sell out that quick last time, let me tell you now, that'll be selling out in a week. And, you know, hopefully it'll be end of the back of the year. I hope both boys can have a little bit of a rest, which they deserve. They put on a massive fight in Manchester, not just Manchester, but worldwide. They both deserve a rest, and, you know, let them get it back on. Let's go.
I remember Mike Costello, the great boxing commentator who did so many wonderful nights, saying to me that with boxing, there's different categories of audiences. There's the audiences like us, the boxing nuts who watch absolutely everything, and then you've got kind of general casual boxing fans, and then you've got sports fans. That is a fight which attracted sports fans in general. And it's a nice feeling, isn't it, Zach, when you've got people who don't normally tune into it, really soaking it all in and asking when the next big fight is.
Yeah, and I've had people coming up to me in the coffee shop over the past week saying, did you watch that fight that weekend? And it's grabbed the attention of a lot of people, and like you say, Darren, not just boxing fans, sports fans. And I think everyone needs to witness something like that in a lifetime. It was a quality fight to watch, and I think if they have the rematch, I won't mind Wardley winning just off a selfish point of view, so we might get a trilogy.
I'd be up for that. I would be up for that. And it's a hard act to follow. And Dave Allen and Filip Hrgovic are the act to follow the following week in heavyweight boxing. But Dave Allen's never really in a boring fight, is he? He always lets his hands go. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He just goes for it.
He does, and like I said, Dave's a people's person, and I think if he was any more laid back, he'd be fast asleep. He don't care where he fights or if he fights. He just wants to get in there and do his job.
It's a tough job tonight, Jack, isn't it?
Yeah, a top operator, you know, I've said it before. He could have chose a lot easier opponents, and he's not wanting that. You know, massive names getting thrown about. He wants to win this and get thrown in with massive names. I think he was saying, I watched a few of his interviews this week, and, you know, big money fights are there for him. Look at the heavyweight division now, it's absolutely stacked and it's thriving. He's here in a sold out place in his back garden near enough, and against a top opponent, he's going to want to rise to the occasion, and I think he will do.
Well, we are ready for our next fight, so over to Thomas Schreiber.
Let's welcome to the ring, Les Uri.
Well, here is 30-year-old Hull fighter Uri, an ex-soldier who kicked off his career on the small hall circuit in Yorkshire in winning ways, but has since gone on the road and is now giving up-and-coming prospects and difficult nights at the office in the away corner. And that is again what he will be looking to do this evening against a Dave Allen managed fighter.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Cian Hamilton.
And here is 18-year-old Doncaster lad, Cian Hamilton, right at the start of his professional journey. One fight, one win, and looking to move to 2-0 this evening on the undercard of his manager, Dave Allen. Had around 40 fights as an amateur. He's trained by his dad and Paul Harrison, and as a product of exactly the same amateur gym as Dave Allen, the Doncaster Plantworks Amateur Boxing Club. So a big night for them as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Mr. Q Casino, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, and Riot Season. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Howard Foster. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing camouflage and white trunks and weighed in officially at 136.2 pounds. Coming to us from Hull, England, he brings a professional record consisting of 2 wins, 3 defeats, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Les Uri! And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black and silver and weighed in officially at 137.3 pounds. Undefeated, he has 1 victory. Ladies and gentlemen, from right here, Doncaster, England, here is Cian Hamilton.
Okay, guys, you know the rules. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch love. Good luck, lads.
Well, the action continues here in Doncaster, and this is Doncaster lad Cian Hamilton in his second professional contest. Comes out of that blue corner in the black and grey shorts, in there against Les Uri, an ex-soldier from Hull. Got a bit of a mixed record as Uri, as he just fires out a 1-2 in the southpaw stance there. Hamilton will be looking to put that amateur experience to good use tonight. Can he stay nice and light on those toes? Because what I've noticed about Uri already is he's pretty quick to get out of a space when he needs to.
Yeah, Hamilton's come out and put him straight on the back foot. Landed a couple of shots, and Uri, I think, just having a little look here. But like you said, Darren, he don't want to stay still, does he? He's doing a lot of moving, you know. He's constantly moving to his left. So I'd like to see Cian just try and cut him off a little bit. But what a night it is for him, fighting here on the undercard of your manager.
Not bad for your second fight, eh, Jack?
No, definitely not. You know, stadium fight, second fight. You know, what else could you want? It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, we've got the mix of the southpaw here, haven't we, Darren? And, you know, with the orthodox, and they're just trying to feel each other out a bit. But Uri, he's not so much as a typical journeyman. You know,
No,
he's basically half and half. Is he going to come here tonight and what a turn Hamilton over? You don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point when you look at that record of his and some of the, with a couple of previous victories which he did have, and he's definitely got a fair bit about him. He's got the skills there. He's boxing shrewd here, just changing direction, changing the angle, giving Hamilton enough to think about at all times.
I think if Hamilton keeps that pressure on, you know, and slows your leg down, like we were saying before, chop away at that body and, you know, try and slow them legs down, and as the rounds go on, hopefully get his shots off even more.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cagey first round from them both, shall I say. They're not letting too much go, they're not showing each other too much, but Hamilton's landed a couple of nice right hands down the pipe. More of a timing shot, you know, as Uri's gone to throw, he's landed the backhand a little bit sharper. I'd just like to see Hamilton maybe put a couple of shots together now and maybe go through the gears a little bit.
It's tough, isn't it, Zach, with a moving opponent, you know, not really wanting to engage. And
it is, mate.
It's hard to get your work off, and I think he's doing well there with what he's got. Like it's.
Yeah, he is. You can't get too much out of him, and Uri's coming back here with a couple of shots. So yeah, he probably hasn't come here just to earn his money tonight. He might have come here to put a bit of a performance on, and we'll see what the second round brings. But it's been a cagey first round, but Hamilton's definitely done enough to win it.
Yeah, I think he's answered your question, hasn't he, at the start of the round. Has he come to play that journeyman type of role? Has he come to try and steal this opportunity from the Doncaster lad in the stadium of a team which he supports? And I would say that it's the latter. A relatively hard round to score, actually.
Yeah, I would give it to Hamilton. You know, the cleaner work, you can see he's got a good amateur pedigree, and he landed some quality shots, and he's got fast hands when he lets them go. So I'd like to see him start letting his hands go a little bit more in this second round. But like you said, he's here on his manager's undercard, Doncaster Stadium. He actually supports Doncaster, did you say, Darren? So it's a massive night for him. It's like me going to Old Trafford. You know,
one day, my old mate, one day.
This is Hamilton's Old Trafford, so he's going to want to come here tonight. He's put a bit of pressure on himself, but no, it was a good opening round.
Jack, what has Cian Hamilton got to do to make sure that he's convincingly winning these rounds and he's getting the nod from the ref who's the scoring judge tonight as well?
I think you've got to be that pressure's got to be there. He's got to keep, if he's moving his legs that much, you know, keep the pressure on. Don't think about too much of the shot. The perfect shot's got to land, and you know, let your hands go and keep that pressure on.
Well, Zach Miller and Jack Rafferty here with me at ringside tonight. Still so much more to come, both on the prelims and, of course, the main card live globally around the world on DAZN from 7 p.m.
Les has stepped on the gas here, like we were saying before, as he come for a good win and a good performance, which they do. You know, if he turns up here, does a turnover, which I'm not saying he is, he can get plenty more work off that.
But this is what you want from an opponent. You don't want him to just...
It's a negative opponent.
Yeah,
which,
you don't want him to sit and tuck up. You do want him to throw back, and you will find them openings, and it's hard work when they just sat there not doing anything. And yeah, you get frustrated with yourself sometimes because you think you want to let your hands go, you know, but this is turning into a decent little fight here, to be fair. But Hamilton's doing the right thing. He's not showing him any respect. He's getting straight on the front foot again now after he's had a little push and find a lovely body shot there as well.
Like we were saying, there's that with a negative opponent, it's hard to get your work off. I think he'll respect this, you know, of an opponent what's coming forward, going backwards, moving his feet and letting his shots go. That's how you learn that, and he'll be learning there tonight. Yeah,
he'll learn more from this than just having someone who's going to sit there and, you know, be a punch bag for 4 rounds.
And how many times have we, you know, seen that? And it's frustrating for the fans, it's frustrating for the fighters, and basically everyone.
That's better work from Hamilton there. He's just gone 2 head, 2 body and mixed it up. And I like the way he's cut the ring off, you know, he's kept the centre of the ring, kept the range nice and tight and got back on the jab.
He just trying to parry that jab from Hamilton, who is the more come-forward fighter in this bout so far. But he does look relatively comfortable on that back foot.
Uri's very capable, I think, for your second time out as a professional, which Hamilton is tonight. I think it's a very, very good opponent.
Definitely. Lee knows his way.
Lovely shot there from Hamilton. And he could have put his foot down a bit there, but I guess, Jack, he was mature not to. He just had a look, didn't he? And he'll find another opportunity if it comes.
Yeah, definitely. You can smother your work or you can rush it too much. That shot's got to register. You know, you can put your foot on the gas too much and take it away. So I liked he didn't jump on it too much there, and you know, he bought his time.
Yeah, you can see the concentration on Hamilton's face. You know, he's super switched on and he don't want to rush anything, which I think's good. You know, when early on in your career you might get carried away because you've landed a good shot, but that can be a downfall sometimes. You can get hit with something coming back, and I think he's boxing very, very calm, shall I say, tonight. Good second round.
Yeah, good second round. You got it 2-0 to Hamilton at the moment?
Yeah, I've got it 2-0 to Hamilton, but by no means necessarily it's not a pushover. Hurley's still in the fight, he's still there, but Hamilton's boxing comfortably. I think he's staying nice, cool, calm, and he's boxing a very good professional performance for his second time out.
What do you think's working for him, Jack, Hamilton?
I think the pressure there and that right hand body's working very well. I think I'd like to see them single backhands even more on Les. I think the pressure what he's putting on, he's slowed his feet down a little bit, he's not moving as much, and you know, carrying what he's done from that second round, bring it into the third and find them opportunities, step on the gas a little bit more, and let's see what it brings.
Well, he's straight out of the corner. He's Kean Hamilton, ready and raring to go for the penultimate round. A reminder, this one's scheduled for 4 in the lightweight division. And both men straight to action. Battle of the jabs in the first few moments of the third.
Yeah, a bit of touching of the front hands going on, and Hamilton fired a backhand straight down the pipe. He's up the tempo a little bit here, just with the footwork and the range. You know, he's stepping to him a little bit more, Hamilton, which is good. He's keeping that range a little bit tighter, which will allow him to land that backhand. And I like the way he just took half a step out then to make Hurley miss.
Hurley's corner just shouting to him to put him under a bit of pressure. I think they want him to just keep marching forward and try and nullify the attacks of Hamilton and keep throwing his own hands.
Yeah, I think Hamilton's shots are a lot better, you know, when he's at the end of that range, like that 1-2 that just landed then.
Hamilton's keeping a good range here, like you were saying before, Zach. He's come out with a little bit less respect for his opponent and staying there and wanting to throw and in firing range, and it's definitely working.
Yeah, that's just allowed him to get them 2 body shots off there. You know, if he was out of range, then he wouldn't have landed them. He slipped to his right and dug him into the body, which was good.
Some good action here in the third from both men. Hamilton's got a right old fight on his hands here.
Yeah, he has, but he's landed
like
a body shot there.
it.
Yeah, he just landed a body shot there. That's made Hurley retreat. You can hear the corner now of Hurley telling him to hold. Hamilton's going full throttle here.
He's still just under half of the round to go. And Hurley got clipped on the temple there, and it jolted his head back, and he's back on his toes, which would tell you that a few of those shots got through and registered, because he's not standing there and training like he was a minute ago.
No, 100%, some 100% registered there from Hamilton. I think it might have been a body shot, Darren.
I think he brung the left up to the solar plex there. I can hear his corner here, grab him, hold on. So another one has just come through there. Something's sinking him.
Hamilton's not rushing his work though, is he, Jack?
No, he's not. I like how he's not blowing himself out of there. You know, he's still in firing range and he's looking for the right shot. See, Les's feet have slowed down now. You know, I think this is Hamilton's fight. He'll want him to stay there and take some of his shots, and he's landing more leather this round.
Yeah, definitely. Hamilton landed that body shot, and it has slowed Hurley down. You know, the feet have stopped moving. I think he's resorted into smothering the range now instead of moving, shall I say. That's his form of defence now.
He's still going forward, trying to throw shots which are becoming a little bit more, not necessarily wild, but they're swinging out a little bit more now.
Yep.
And this is where Hamilton just needs to stay switched on. But that was a good, strong end to the round there.
Yeah.
I think Les will be happy to see the end of that round there, get his breath back, suck it up, and, you know, hopefully put in a good 4th round.
Yeah, he will, Jack, but Kean's just gone back to the corner there. He's still stood up in the corner. He looks fresh as a daisy, Darren, he really does, but I think if he can go back down to that body this round, you know, he might hurt him again, Jack, and you know all about getting someone out of there and stopping someone and not rushing your work. What do you think he needs to do if he lands that body shot again?
I think he don't smother his work there. I think he can stay in the inside and land that right body shot and bring his arms down, and maybe if he don't get a stoppage, the referee might wave it off.
Well, we'll see if he can do that. Only one more round to do it if he can. But you're right, Zach. I've watched him go back to his corner at the end of the third, and he had a right old spring in his step, which tells you he was happy with the work which he did there, and he'll be confident coming out for the fourth and final.
Yeah, he's got to be, Darren. That was an excellent third round from him, and he knows he can hurt his man now, but I hope he don't go searching for that shot too much. I hope he just sticks to his boxing, and 9 times out of 10, you will get him again.
I think Les has come out this round, you know, trying to see the minutes and the seconds out. I was moving in the first round.
Yeah, he's well and truly on his feet now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what you get from a bit more of an experienced fighter. They know how to take the minutes away, like you see now. He's not looking to engage. He's obviously felt something last round and wanting to get his senses and suck some air back into them lungs.
Yeah, you're right. You can see that final bell now, and you know the tongue's coming out now. He's trying all the trickery, but he's put some battery back on that bike, and it's firing round that ring. I just don't want to see Hamilton get frustrated now and try loading up too much like he missed with that right, and then I just want to see him stick to his boxing and see the fight out now and do what he needs to do. It's been a good performance.
Hurry in, grabbing hold of his man there, making sure that he doesn't get any good work off. A jab did get through there. Beautiful body shot from Hamilton, then finds some space and he goes back in again. This is the most active in terms of on his feet and movement from Uri that we've seen in this 4-round contest. He is, by the looks of it, looking to see this fight out now.
Going into the last half of this round, you know, he's going to want to see it out. He can half see that final bell, and he's not going to get stopped.
No, he's going to want to be out as soon as he can again. He's a quality opponent. He comes in not just to take part, he comes to, you know, if he can get the win, he will do. And you can see that he's got a good boxing brain, you know, he knows when to move and when not to. He's moaning about a low one there, but I'm not too sure if it was.
As soon as he started saying that one was low, Hamilton straight in there with a right hook to the head and then threw another onto the body. And he's trying to make Uri fight back a bit here.
Yeah, because he'll get them openings then, Darren. You know, he wants Uri to fight back and he can find the shot in between the shots what he's throwing then.
Just like that there, Zach.
Uri just misses with that 1-2. It was connected much better in the first couple of rounds, but I guess where the good work that Hamilton's done, it slowed him down, but he covers up, does Uri.
You can see as soon as he goes down to that body there, Uri starts messing about with his waistband. You can see the shots downstairs are registering more than the head. You can hear the corner now keep moving, change direction. They want him to see this round out, and 10 seconds left, I think he will.
I think you know yourself, Zach, a good body shot is a lot worse than a good head shot.
It is, it takes the wind right out here.
Well, by the fourth and final round, Uri had kind of changed his tactics and he was then going to be on the move. He certainly came to fight for good portions of that fight and got through some good shots of his own. The first and second were his best rounds, but I guess where Hamilton got to him was as the fight went on, and he made sure that he was on his toes. And surely, Cian Hamilton, who gets his dream night at the Doncaster Rovers football stadium, will move to 2-0. I spoke to Dave Allen earlier on this week and he raves about young Cian. He's got a fantastic attitude and still so young as well, 18 years old. We all think we're old at 18, but we're not, are we?
No, you're young. You're a very, very young man and he should be proud of himself tonight. That was a very good performance. I hope he can go and get changed now and enjoy his manager.
Right, well, Thomas Schreiber is ready, so over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Howard Foster, scores the contest 40-36 for your winner, and still undefeated, Cian Hamilton.
well done to Cian Hamilton, and as Zach just said, hopefully he can go and get himself ready to go and enjoy an evening of boxing now and watch his manager Dave Allen take on the Ring Magazine number 5, Filip Hrgovic, a little bit later on. A reminder, the main card starts on DAZN from 7 p.m. Some fantastic bouts on there. And here is what they look like. Now, if you haven't seen this Uzbek star before, Moydin Kujayev, he is a Paris 2024 Olympic gold medalist. He was tremendous in the Olympics, 1-0 as a professional now, and he's just one of those fighters who can do everything unbelievably well, which just tends to be the way with these Uzbek stars. Then Louis O'Doherty in there defending his British title, and the Commonwealth also on there against Haytim. That should be a cracker. There's been some proper needle between those two this week, hasn't there?
Yeah, there has. I hope it lives up to the expectation of the fight now. There's been all sorts going on. There's been muscle suits, you name it, but no, it should be a good fight. I remember when Louis won the British title against Regan Glackin up in Scotland, it was a cracking fight, and I'm sure he's going to want to keep that win streak running.
Well, after that one, it is Michael Gomez Jr. It feels like it was only last week he was out with a fantastic win at the Co-op Live. He's in there against Lee McGregor, who will be gutted by the football earlier on. If you don't know, Lee McGregor was a huge Hearts fan, and they almost won the Scottish Premiership, but Celtic stole it from them. But he will have one thing on his mind now, and that will only be Michael Gomez Jr. And then, of course, it is what we keep talking about, and which is the reason why we're here in this stadium, Dave Allen versus Filip Hrgovic. What a run of boxing we've had, guys, over the last few months. It's been unbelievable, hasn't it?
Yeah, Queensbury doing absolutely amazing. Great shows, some like another card here from last weekend. You know, the weekend after weekend of great boxing, some great title fights, and not just title fights, some great fights. And you know, Allen versus Hrgovic tonight, going down the order. Gomez, you know, we're in for a treat.
Well, the action continues non-stop because next week Alexander Usyk is fighting in the Pyramids of Giza against the kickboxing world champion and star Rico, and then it should quiet down just a little bit, just for the World Cup. But don't sit down for too soon, because then we've got Ryan Garner in another stadium, Zach.
Yeah.
At his home of Southampton.
I'm absolutely over the moon for Ryan. He's a quality fighter and he's a quality person. I like Ryan a lot. I've done a lot of rounds with Ryan, and I'm glad he's got his big chance and his big night down at St Mary's. I think he's a quality fighter and he will get the job done, but what a night that's going to be for Ryan down there. You know, we're here in Doncaster for Dave, and Queensbury have promised that for Ryan, and you know, it's happening. He's down there, St Mary's, and what a show that's going to be.
I always say that when pro fighters make their debuts, obviously they dream of their debuts. But if you're a specific football fan, like you're a United fan, and you must have dreamt about those Old Trafford nights and whatever else, and Dave would have dreamt about a night like this. It must be unbelievable when that opportunity actually comes along.
Oh, it must be unbelievable, and it's very few and far between you actually do see it happen. But with the backing of Queensbury, they're making it happen, you know. They're making these lads' dreams come true. Like Dave here tonight, and like we're saying, Brian Garner down at St Mary's, and it's massive nights, you know, in your hometown at the stadium where you probably used to go as a kid watching the football. It's fantastic, and they are making dreams come true, Queensbury Promotions.
Well, I'm hoping that we... Well, I was about to ask you, Zach, when are we going to see you next? But Thomas Stryber has just climbed into the ring with a microphone in his hand. He looks like he means business. He does. So over to him.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Ryan the Iceman Frost.
Well, here is 34-year-old Ryan Frost from Essex here in the UK. And this is fight number 19 for him. We saw him on a Queensbury show not that long ago when he boxed the very talented Drew Limond in Glasgow, and also when he boxed another extremely talented fighter in Luke Pryor on one of our Liverpool shows. He always gives a good account of himself and is your typical have gloves and gum shield, where do you want me type of fighter.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Joe Hayden.
Well, wonderful to hear the noise lift when Joe Hayden's name was just read out there by Thomas Schreiber, 26 years old, the undefeated Yorkshireman and Doncaster Rovers fan, and also another Dave Allen managed fighter. There's a bit of a theme here this evening. He is 22-0 and be looking to push on once again here as a Doncaster Rovers fan in his home stadium. What a night.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensbury, along with their great sponsors, Mr. Q Casino, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, and Riyadh Season. When the bell rings, the referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Michael Alexander. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing gold trunks and weighed in officially at 149.14 pounds. Coming to us from Colchester, Essex, England, he has 18 professional bouts to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ryan the Iceman Frost. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white, black, and gold and weighed in officially at 148.6 pounds. Undefeated, he has 22 wins. 3 wins come by way of knockout. He is a current Commonwealth silver and international champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from right here, Doncaster, England, Joe Hayden.
Right, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right?
Well, this is the penultimate fight on the prelims edition of this card. And it is Joe Hayden in the white and gold shorts in there against Essex's Ryan Frost in the all gold shorts. And both fighters straight to the centre of the ring to kick off this 6-round contest. As I said, Ryan Frost, one of your typical have gloves and gum shield, will travel anywhere type of fighters. Both fighters fighting in the southpaw stance.
Yeah, I remember seeing Frost against Drew Limond. He's a very, very capable opponent, and you can see by the shape he's in, you know, like you said, Darren, have gloves, will travel. And you can see he's probably one of them fellas that's always in the gym, always in decent nick. And he's come here tonight against Joe Hayden, but I'm excited to see Joe's performance. You know, I've seen a little bit of Joe. He's a slick boxer, southpaw, and he's type of no-nonsense guy. You know, he gets in there and gets straight down to business.
Well, Hayden, 22-0. As I said, he's managed by Dave Allen, but the approach which they've taken with him is because he didn't have masses of amateur experience, is just to have plenty of relatively similar level fights in the programme to kick him off. But he has had some harder opposition, if you like, in recent fights, and his team feel like they're really starting to see the better version of him, or the kind of more formed version of him coming out, and all those years and all those fights have come to fruition. And that was a nice heavy 1-2 there from Hayden in that southpaw stance. He delayed the straight left hand, but it landed on the temple.
Yeah, it was a lovely broken 1-2, and as you're saying, Joe's 22-0, but he's done his learning on the job. I think he's been managed very well. He's been guided, he's been taught. You know, he's been doing the camps, he'll be learning more in the gym, but he's had them 22 fights under his belt now, and he's going to want to look to push on. He's going to want to get the job done here tonight. Watch Dave do his thing, and he's going to want to be back out soon. And he's going to want to get himself into title contention now. It's a good positive start from Joe, you know, he's straight on that jab, pumping it out, not throwing anything too silly yet. He's seeing what Frost has got as well, but it's a very, very positive start from Joe. Good slip defence there as well.
Oh, lovely body shot. Really good that. Threw that 1-2 upstairs and then effortlessly just chucked in that hook to the body.
Yeah, he picked it very nice round the side. You could hear the thud on the shot.
And you could tell it landed well, because just watch the kind of body language of Frost. He took a great big deep breath after that one.
Yeah, he did, and then he threw back himself, trying to keep Aiden off. The jab's been excellent this round.
Very good start from Joe Wade. He's not smothered his work. He's put his shot together very well, and this will set him up for a great second round.
But it's the jab which has won him that round, really, isn't it, Jack? It's over and over again. He kind of peppers him with it.
Yeah, he's just picked him away with it. That's how you set things up. Great jab, and that's how you find the other shots, you know, the backhands. And like he found before, he found a great body shot, and that was all off the jab, like you said there.
But it most definitely needs to be more of the same from Hayden in that second round. 5 to go. So plenty of time to go through the gears and all that stuff, Zach.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to go through the gears, but I like what he's doing with the jab. He's not letting Frost come back with anything. He's keeping him at range, and he's changing the pace on it, which is good to see. He might double it, he'll treble it, throw it as a single shot. He's feinting it. It's great work off the front hand. I'm sure they'll give him a little bit more instruction this round. He might have come out and said, stay on the job for the first round, see what he's got, and that's exactly what he's done. He can see that he's boxing to instructions, and he's staying switched on after he's through as well, which is good to see. He's not letting Frost come back with anything.
He's got a mightily experienced corner with Nigel Travis and Jamie Moore and all the team there. In very safe hands with those guys.
Yeah, and you can hear Frost corner, they're very vocal. They've not just come here, as I said, to get paid and go home. They're coming here and they're being positive, but Joe Aiden's sticking to the task, even though we did take a good backhand then. He took it well and got straight back on the front foot himself. It's a lovely jab, it's sharp.
And what he does well, Hayden, is he'll throw that sharp jab, he'll jolt the head back of Frost, and then he's good at just kind of finding somewhere on the other side of him to keep Hayden, to keep Frost thinking. He'll change that angle and then he'll go again. He doesn't just throw it and stand in front of him, does he?
No, we don't throw it and stand in front of him. There's no telling that jab. That's why he's finding it hard to block it. And after that jab's there, you know, he's just letting a shot go, you know, not very thought of, which is working very well for him.
Well, Frost just grabbing hold of the arm of Hayden on the blind side of the referee, stopping him from working. And both fighters throwing straight punches in the middle of the ring on the logo.
Oh, lovely body shot.
Great.
He throws that really well, that right up to the body, especially off the 1-2 to the head. Finds it well.
That's the third time he's landed that in this round.
Yeah, he's finding it very well, and it's a lovely shot that's working, and it's against the southpaw, You don't see it too much, but it's a good shot to have in your book. I like the judge range then.
There it is again.
Yeah, he didn't just walk straight back in, you know, he made him miss and then made him pay. Keeping the centre of the ring as well.
Nice shot there from Frost.
Yeah, both through simultaneously then, yeah.
Great one too.
I look, Hayden's doing exceptionally well here, but he is not having it all his own way, is he?
No,
but
he's
for
not.
me, he's winning the fight, but...
Yeah. But Frosty's coming back, Darren.
Exactly.
He is coming back, and they are meaningful shots what Frosty's throwing back. He's not just throwing him to keep him off, he's throwing him to hit Hayden proper. Again, the double jab, it's good. It just sets the pace of the fight. He puts him back in his place, Frost, then puts him right on the back foot. But again, he comes back.
And what we know about Ryan Frost is he will do that over and over and over again all night, unless you stop him from doing it.
I think we're going to see a case of the body shots taking the toll more than the head shots here in this fight from Hayden. He's finding that right up downstairs lovely, and I think he needs to keep that going.
Well, he's recognised that that body shot works well, hasn't he, Jack? And then he's just making it work for him. He's finding different ways to sneak it in there.
Yeah, he's found a home for that body shot. He's working very well, you know. I think the 3 times he threw it, or the 4 times he threw it, then it landed. It's taking a massive effect. I'm just going to pick up on what Zach said. The body shots are going to hurt more than the head shots, and I think he can capitalise on that. I think his corner was saying that, and you know, from last round before, bringing this round, it's a bit more of the same, and step on the gas, you know, he's there, he's readying up now, and you know, these shots are playing a toll.
And Zach, where does Frost, in your opinion, need to kind of find his range now that the body work's becoming a bit more than the head work? Does he, where does he need to find himself?
He needs to find himself just on the edge of range, you know, outside. Don't allow Hayden to close that gap, but Hayden's not just throwing that shot on its own, you know, he's coming in off the 1-2, he's bringing his feet in with a 1-2, and then he's not even rushing the body shot, he's looking, if it's there, bang, he'll throw it. It's clever work, he's staying switched on, he's not just throwing the body shot out of look and think, oh, it might hit him here, but he's seeing the shot before he's throwing it, which is good, he's finding the gap.
Well, some positive words coming from the corner of Ryan Frost, who's come out with a bit between his teeth in this round. He's having a good go here. He's the fighter who's on the front foot.
He is, and he's got a bit of darts excellence. Just arrived again. Luke the Nuke, he's in the building.
He's loving the boxing. Luke, he was there last week.
He was, he can't get enough of it.
And he is here again this week.
I think, like Zach was saying before, what can he do to change his round? You know, Ryan's come out there, taking the range away from him, not letting him land them shots, being close.
He just landed a lovely right up to the body then as well. I think he felt that, Frost, and another one. And another one.
Cut on Ryan's eye as well.
Yeah, it does look like there is a bit of a cut there on the eye of Frost.
I think the body work is excellent from Hayden. He's really, really picking holes in that body tonight.
Frost really having a go here.
He's got to have a goal to keep him off, Darren, I think he's got to throw back.
And he hasn't got a choice, has he?
No, he's not. I think he's got to get Hayden's respect, or he's just going to keep coming.
Yeah, Hayden just digging his toes into the canvas and letting these shots go now.
As I said, Hayden's that no-nonsense type of guy, and he's showing us here. That was a lovely double up then. I like the way he's getting behind his shoulder, you know, he's sitting in the pocket, but he's not taking anything. And he's finding his own shots. He's not sitting there too long without throwing.
At the moment, for me, the work rate from Hayden is what's winning in these rounds. There's been plenty of good work from Frost, but it's, as I say that, he comes back even stronger. It's almost like he heard me.
Yeah, he's got to keep doing that to try and keep Hayden off. Because he's unloading here, and listen, they're not soft shots, he's putting them in. The corner of wanting Ryan Frost to tie Hayden up here, but he's having none of it. He's getting behind his shoulder.
No,
and he's
right.
letting his hands go, Hayden.
Screaming for Frost to just grab hold of him and try and delay some time, waste some time in the round, but he's just going for it.
"30 seconds left in this round, Adam, but we've got another 3 rounds left, and when you're on your bike like that, like Frost is taking that punishment, it's a long time, isn't it, Jack?"
Yeah, it's a long time, and I think the referee's having a look here, and
lovely shot.
Beautiful shot there from Joe Hayden, and Ryan Frost looks to his corner,
yeah, you can see.
He does look like he's in a bit of trouble here. And he certainly isn't a man to give up, but he takes a big deep breath, and the sound of that final bell, Jack, couldn't have come at a better time for him.
No, that sounded like Christmas, that bell, let me tell you now. He took that very well. He took the full 10 seconds and hopefully recovers his ground. Maybe his corner might not send him out. But like Zach was saying, there's another 9 minutes left here now, and it's a long 9 minutes on your back foot like that.
Well, he's going to go into this round confident now, Zach, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to go into that round very confident. Then, you know, the corner's going to be confident. Nigel's giving him the instructions there, but you've got Jamie in the corner, Connor Walker in the corner. It's a very experienced corner, and he's going to come out this round, and he's going to want to get that stoppage, and it won't surprise me if he does. Frosty's finding it tough in there tonight.
Well, he would have needed that 1 minute rest. But he's remained on his feet.
Yeah, the corner's going to work on that cut, but I'm telling you now, Aiden's going to get in the middle of the thing and he's going to go to work on Frost.
Nice jab to the body there from Hayden, as he just circles round anti-clockwise in that southpaw stance, trying to keep Frost guessing.
Yeah, you can see Frost has come out here and he's trying to feint Aiden up, and he's got a bit of a spring in his step, but I don't think that means that he's ready to throw. I think he's just trying to look ready so Aiden don't go on him, but
that jab body's not landing very nicely there.
No, it's stabbing it down to the body, Aiden, and that will slow him down.
And that's what Aiden's doing now, is that jab's going to the body, then he chucks that left hand over the top as he gets him to lower his head.
I think Aiden had a lot of success last round as well when he closed that range and he took behind his own shoulder and worked from there. I think he's going to want to do that again.
Frost certainly not just trying to grab hold of him, he's putting the work in himself here.
Well, he's fighting fire with fire, and listen, sometimes you've got to do that. You know, we can't just keep retreating and showing no respect. You've got to give him a bit of something to think about. You're going to want to try and catch him with something, but as much as he's throwing and tiring himself out, he's getting caught with stuff himself.
Great head movement there.
Lovely body
the
shot
man
again.
From Doncaster then follows it up with that body shot, that hook to the body, which he just loves to throw so much.
It's getting a bit hard to watch with the shots that are going in from Aiden here now. You know, the solid shots what are landed, and they're landing very, very frequent, as they did in the last round. And there's a lot of time left. As we said, there was 3 rounds. He's got another 2.5 left, and Frosty's taking a lot of punishment.
He is, and my confidence in Frost getting to the final bell is lowering as each moment of this contest goes by. He's really having a look now, isn't he, Jack?
Yeah.
Another great body shot landed there.
I think a flurry of shots now.
Flurry of shots, yeah.
The ref will step in. As I said, it's getting a little bit hard to watch when you're up close here now looking at this. It's the shots are flooding, shots that are going in from Joe.
Well, he sinks in a left hand to the body there, did Hayden, just above our commentary position. My goodness, that was a heavy one.
Joe's doing an excellent job of not letting Frost tie him up. The work's just continuous work. It's punishment after punishment, and it's good to see from Joe.
I think it'd be a nice sound in this bell.
But there's the clapper for the final 10 seconds of this round. Frost still throwing back, and
He's
I think
a tough man.
He's unbelievably tough.
He is.
And really, that's the only reason that the referee, Michael Alexander, has allowed it to continue, is because there is just about enough shots coming back.
Yeah, he'll be familiar with Frost, and he'll be familiar with how tough he is, but like we said earlier about Stephen Jackson, I don't think I've seen Frost take this much punishment. He's really reddening up, he's cut, he's been dropped. It's an excellent performance from Joe Aiden.
And just the type of fight he and his team would have probably wanted and needed, like I said, because he didn't have a massive amateur career. So many fights on the small hall scene against relatively similar opposition, different fighters of course, but that's kind of the way that he's built himself.
Yeah.
And we're really starting to see it.
Yeah, we are starting to see it, and as we said, Joe, you know, he's going to want to come here. It's his hometown, it's his stadium, and he's putting on performance worthy of pleasing the fans. You know, it's his own fans. He's going to want to come here, put pressure on his back and perform, and that's what he's doing. You can see the corner there up to a little bit of trickery of Frost. You know, the hanging him in there a little bit longer. Put a bit too much Vaz on here now. It's the tricks of the trade, Darren.
Week in, week out, you see it, don't you? Every trick in the book.
What's got to be done has got to be done.
I think he's going to want to keep the pressure on here and keep them jabs, bodies coming down there, and no, it's definitely not liking them.
I've got to say, Frost does recover really well in between rounds. He looks knackered by the end of it. A big clip with a big shot like he did with that 8 count. He has the 60 seconds and he's back, and he's back with business, just like he is now. Look, fight him.
Yeah, he comes out as he did at the start of the last round, and he'll have a little push. He's trying to keep Aiden off. He really is trying to keep Aiden off. He wants to survive. He wants to see that final bell, but Aiden's back here on the front foot.
I think he's going out with a different style there as well, you know, boxing and moving his feet, and he's not wanting to trade there.
No, but Aiden's got him pinned against the ropes here, but he comes back firing Frost. He's a tough, tough man. Body shot, lovely
and
uppercut.
there it is again.
Straight into the solar plex.
He's a beautiful body puncher, is Joe Hayden, and the fact that a fighter as tough as Ryan Frost has hit the canvas for a second time.
That's the right decision.
Tells you everything that you need to know. Well done to Joe Hayden. He gets the job done. Commiserations to Ryan Frost, who should hold his chin up high because he's a tough man. And he had a good go there as well. He's certainly not a negative fighter. And I'm sure he's a type of fighter which the likes of Queensbury will have the pleasure of having him on their shows over and over again, Zach.
100%, you know, he's come here, he's done his job, but Joe Hayden, that was a very, very good performance. I'm really pleased for the kid, you know. He can go back now and he can wait for that main event and watch Dave, you know, one of the nicest guys in boxing. Apart from the man to my right, he is the nicest man in boxing.
What about the man to your left?
But nicer.
Full of praise.
He shouldn't be called the Demolition Man. He should be the nicest man in boxing.
But nicer.
But nicer. Until he gets in there.
I think it's just you Mancunian boxers. You're nice until that bell goes.
Yeah, especially this Demolition Man to my right-hand side here.
There's not a series phoning Zach's body, that's what the problem is.
Right, well, Thomas Triber has the official time from the referee. We shall get the fighters together. And over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute 25 seconds of round number 5. Our referee, Michael Alexander, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Joe Hayden.
Well, done and dusted. Joe Hayden moves to 23-0, and like you said, Zach, earlier on, he's going to be wanting to look at titles now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is 23-0. That's some record. It's took some doing. It doesn't matter who's been put in front of you 23 times, but he's gone in there and he's done the job. As you said, he didn't have a massive amateur career, so he's learned his trade in the professional ranks, and that's what he's done 23 times now. I think it's excellent guidance. He's here, he's on a massive platform tonight, and hopefully he'll be on a massive platform fighting for some titles soon.
I'm sure he will. And of course, the win is always what the fighters are looking for, but to do it in that type of style is exactly what it's about. Anyway, before he walks to the ring, Zach, I was about to ask you, because you've been injured, bicep injury, had to have an operation. How are you? When are we going to see you next?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. You know, it was hard. I've never been injured before. I had to have surgery, undergo it, and it's gone well, Darren. You know, I've been back in the gym. I was back in the gym with my sling on, you know. I was doing what I could when I could, and I suppose that's what you've got to do. You've got to be a true professional, and you've got to work with what you've got, and that's what I've done. I've got back in the gym. I'm back punching now, and, you know, whatever my team puts in front of me, I'll take.
Well, because for a reminder to those watching at home is you were meant to be fighting Liam Davies, a fight which everybody was looking forward to. That was meant to be on the Moses Atama versus Jermaine Franklin card.
Yeah.
Of course, you just explained what happened there.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a fight we see in the future?
Yeah, of course. I don't see why not. You know, the featherweight division stack at the top of it. You've got us four. You've got Nick Ball, Nathaniel Collins, Liam Davies and me. It's a fantastic division. They're all excellent fighters, and Liam done an excellent job that night on that show. You know, he still had the task of Grandelli in front of him, and he got the win, which is great to see. And, you know, I want these big fights. That's what I want, but whatever my team say, I'm going to do. You know, I've just got to get myself in the best shape possible mentally and physically, which I am doing now, and I'll be ready.
That's what it's all about. And Jack, we touched on your win earlier on and spoke about that night and how incredible it was and everything else which comes along with it. But every time you get a win, every time you look impressive, the big fights just keep coming, don't they? They keep getting bigger and bigger, but we are ready for another fight. So over to Thomas Triber.
Let's welcome to the ring from Mexico, Luis Lobito Montelongo.
Well, here is 30-year-old Luis Montelongo from Mexico. The last time we saw him over here in the UK, he put on a valiant performance against Liverpool's Steve Clark. He isn't your typical type of journeyman or away corner fighter. He has a relatively even record. He's won some, he's lost some, but he always stands there and just keeps on coming. He is one of your true tough Mexican fighters.
And now let's welcome to the ring from England, the undefeated one half of the failed twins, Carl Phil.
But the very last fighter to make his way to the ring on this prelims section of the show is one half of the Fighting Fail twins. This, of course, is Carl Fail, 11-0. With his brother Ben in the background. You will not see those two apart. They are a fantastic partnership, and they will always be in each other's corner. Carl Fail has looked vicious and unforgiving in his recent fights. Had a couple of years outside of the ring due to an injury, but since then he looks like he's back with a vengeance, and that is what I expect to see from him tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the super welterweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Mr. Q Casino, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, and Riyadh Season. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Michael Alexander. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 158.5 pounds. Coming to us from Mexico City, Mexico, he has a professional record of 18 wins, 17 defeats, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luis Lobito Montelongo. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with silver and weighed in officially at 155.1 pounds. Hailing from Northampton, England, he is undefeated with 11 wins. 4 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the current Midlands area champion and one half of the Fail Twins, Carl Fail.
Right, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right?
But the final bout on the prelims is Carl Fail of the Peacock Gym in there against Luis Monty Longo of Mexico. Monty Longo in the black shorts with the white boots, and Fail, of course, in those white shorts with the black and grey boots. This one's scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds in the super welterweight division. And both men straight to the centre of the ring. Fail out in that southpaw stance. Will look to be busy with the jab. As we said in the ring walks, he's got a super tough Mexican in front of him. Seen him box plenty of times. One of those ones who bites down on his gum shield and just keeps coming over and over again. So I don't expect this to be an easy night's work for him at all. But in recent fights, Fail has looked vicious and unforgiving.
He has, Darren, and I think on the prelims I've been most looking forward to watching Fail perform tonight. You know, I'm familiar with the brothers, familiar with the Peacock Gym. They're a top setup down there, and I'm excited to see his performance here tonight.
It's good that he's still got a worthy opponent in there. He's wiry, he's an orthodox, and he can let him go. He got a shame that he had to pull out with Dean, and you know he's still got an opponent here who's still going to look to come to take the win.
And it is very typical of Carl Fail to just say yes to anyone they put in front of him. This was a relatively late replacement. But what we know about the Fail twins is they are fighters through and through. They love it. They live and breathe the game. A huge part of that Peacock Boxing Gym in London, where, of course, Denzel Bentley boxes out of. And what a performance he put in a few weeks ago on the undercard of Deontay Wilder versus Derek Chisora, becoming the interim WBO middleweight champion.
Yeah, and you've got to say, Darren, success does breed success, and the Peacock Gym at the minute, and for many years, you know, it's been producing champion after champion, and these are going to want to keep that gym on the map.
You know it. And Denzel, if you're listening, I know how you feel about the interim.
What a fighter Denzel is, by the way.
Great gym, you know, like Zach was saying before. Great set of brothers, and we've got a great team around them. They're going to want to carry on this success. Carl coming off a win with his title, and you know he's going to want to say on these shows.
He's landing a couple of good shots to the body here. You know, he's throwing that bolo shot underneath to the solar plex, and as you can see, the Mexican, he don't look too, you know, he's soft to the body, and Carl will recognise that, so he will want to find that shot going through the middle.
But he just found a really nice straight left hand, straight through the middle, did Fail. But a right hand come flying back from Luis Monty Longo, as he tries to stab into the body of Fail with that lead jab of his, and swings and misses. The Fail too quick on his feet.
He's getting a telling off here, Monty Longo. But he can punch, Darren. He can punch.
He certainly can. He's got a few of them out of there inside the distance, and earned his crust on that small hall rugged scene in Mexico.
I wonder who's had more fights. Ben and Carl in the front room, or Monty Longo over in Mexico. Hey,
you could just imagine the Fail twins, can't you?
That'd be some night to watch, wouldn't it? We're going to settle down and watch a film tonight. Bang, them two are at it in front room.
Get the gloves out.
One glove each.
Yeah.
But brother Ben, never too far away from his twin brother Carl. But a good opener. It wasn't too cagey, was it? There was some good shots landed, mainly from Fale, I think.
Yeah, I like from Carl there. He was laser focused. He switched on like he was saying before. His opponent can let his hands go, and he's going to be wary of that. He's not going to get hit with nothing daft. So Carl was very switched on then. You know, great boxing. That jab was good.
Yeah, no, it was a great round from Fale, I thought. The thing is, though, like we said, you know, Montelongo, the Mexican, he can punch, so Fale has got to say super switch. But listen, the true professionals, both of the twins, so he will be, you know, he's going to want to get in there and want to go to perform very good tonight. It's a big stage, like we said, and he's got to get Montelongo out the way, and then he can push on massively. It could be a big, big year for the Fale twins.
A little slip of the foot there from Fale. Regathers his balance and straight to a good left hook by Montelongo, though.
There were them shots what we're talking about, you know, you've got to be wary of them.
Yeah, you've got to be super switched on with these type of opponents. They throw them from awkward angles. They're not your conventional boxer. They'll throw them different angles, different speeds, but there we go. He's not scared of slinging them in like that.
No, he isn't. And credit to the defensive Fale, who had his hand in exactly the right place at the right time, and thankfully for him, he did. And there he gets straight through the middle of Montelongo's guard with that left hand from that southpaw stance of his. Something very old school about Carl Fale. That kind of hunched over style a little bit.
Yeah, he's like a puncher, boxer type of style, isn't he? But out of the southpaw stance, you usually see a lot of slick fighters these days, but no. He's no nonsense, aggressive on the front foot, but good long levers, long range. You know, he's tall for the weight, but he throws that uppercut to the body very, very well.
He did, and he made Montelongo miss. It looked like he had a bit of a hump there as he slung in another couple of hooks. Fale just choosing his moments wisely, just keeping in range enough to pop that jab out and snap the head back of the Mexican, but far enough away because, as you guys have already picked up on, there's some fairly big haymakers coming from him.
Yeah, for a lovely long uppercut then. I like the way he's just adjusting the range little bit by little bit. It might only be a couple of inches, but that's just offsetting Montelongo. It's not allowing him to throw them big bombs.
Yeah, he's using that range very well there. You know, it's a step from getting in and a step from getting out, and that's where you've got to be, from that firing range.
Fale looks like he's just waiting for the Mexican to commit so he can land the shot like he just did. That left hook under the elbow. There
that was a lovely slip uppercut.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? Textbook stuff there from Fale.
Very nice. Made him miss by millimetres. Good timing body shot then as well. They both threw at the same time, but Fale got himself safe and landed that uppercut to the midsection.
Fale is locked in.
And he just put it to the head then. Yeah, it was good. That's really working, that left uppercut for him out of that southpaw stance.
It is, but Montelongo came back with a left hook to the temple of Fale. Fale being defensively smart with his feet there. The jab was coming in from Montelongo, but he was making him miss because he was stepping out of range. I don't know if there's really too much more that Fale can do at the moment, Zach. I think he's boxing a clever fight. He's committing when he needs to commit. And he's taking his opportunities when they're there. He's just not smothering anything, is he?
He is. It's a good positive start, and you know, he's not taking too much punishment, even though Montelongo is slinging the big shots back. But he's boxing a sensible fight. It's a professional control performance up to now, and I just want to see more of the same, to be honest with you, Darren.
I'm sure that's exactly what we're going to get in the next round, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. I like what he's setting up there. I think he's bringing a nice left uppercut to the solar plex as his opponent's coming in, and you know, he's missed very narrowly a couple of times in that round there, and I think it'll come off this round.
Well, if you've just switched on, this is our 6th and final fight on the prelims, but don't go anywhere other than switching on DAZN from 7 PM for the main card. You are watching Carl Fale versus Luis Montelongo. in the super welterweight division. An 8-round contest.
Lovely jab.
Great jab. He can keep it at that range. It's you know, it's a great range. He's not getting in the fire range of some big shots going back, and he's landing very well, and he's in control there.
Yeah, he is, and he just touched the jab a couple of times there and then fires the 1-2 down the pipe.
Because he knows the big backhand's getting brewed.
Yeah, it does. He's not allowing him to set. He's adjusting that range, like I said. But like Jack said, you know, when he's throwing them shots from range, fail. Montelongo can't go. He can't answer back. The range is too open, and if he does go, fail will exploit that.
Like, as Zach was saying before, the long levers on the fail. He's making it tricky for his opponent.
Good hands again. You can see the defence. He switched on after it. He just caught that shot lovely then. Even the body shot there, it was blocked.
He is defensively very good.
Yeah,
Fail.
the movement, then he just moved around the target and allowed him to gain centre ring again, Darren. It's smart work from Fail.
He soaks those shots up. Good counter puncher as well. Montelongo just tries to throw in a heavy right hand. It's blocked with the left hand to Fail. He's straight back out with those long levers of his.
Yeah, I like the reverse 1-2 then as well.
As you were saying before there, Zach, you know, he's blocking very well, which is from your opponent. If you're throwing a big shot and you're blocking it well and you're thinking, wow, this man is tough, and, you know, it takes it a toll on your opponent thinking, what am I fighting against here?
Yeah, it's disheartening, you know, because you're not letting him have any success, and he's catching and countering well, so he's answering back off everything.
That jab's working well this round.
I like the way he made him miss then, Fail. He made him miss with a big shot, but he didn't step back from it, you know. He just made him miss ever so slightly, and then he's straight back in front of him. It's keeping the pressure on just with the range.
Definitely found a home for that jab this round. Nice to see.
He's kind of tuned in on that accuracy, has Failed with that southpaw jab of his, peppers him with it over and over again. Montelongo,
lovely shot.
With a shot there, and he must have felt that one, but it's certainly woken him up a little bit as he puts his hands high in. He's cautious for anything else which is similar coming back in that sort of fashion. There he is again, that uppercut.
The shot variation's great.
I think this might be the best we've seen Carl Fail, actually. Looks well and truly tuned in, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He's in a great place, at a great gym, and, you know, the brothers are doing well, and they're going to want to keep that momentum keep going, and he's on a massive show here. You know, he's going to want to capitalise on a great performance here and back at it again.
It'll be interesting to know what they're saying in that Mexican corner of his, because the Mexican coach is very animated, and I think the problem is he just can't beat Carl Fail to the punch, can he?
No, I don't think he can, and I don't think he's got the skill set to live with Fail tonight in there. I think Fail's boxing a very, very good performance. Don't get me wrong, I knew Carl was good, but he's executing the game plan here, what they've got, excellently. He's navigating his way around the ring very good. He's not taking much punishment, and his shot selection is great tonight. Very, very good. And there's nothing flashy about it. It's just smart.
It's good old-fashioned boxing, isn't it?
It's smart, straight to the point work, and that's what I like to see.
And that's kind of what I was getting at when I was saying about there's something very old school about Carl Fail. Is that exactly? He's got a little bit of a hunched over style, and there is nothing flashy about it. He's just very good at the stuff which he does, and it works. It's effective.
And the accuracy is very good tonight. He's not missing a lot. Everything's educated, you know, even the pressure, what he's putting on with his footwork, it's clever work.
Oh, there's that
again, the
uppercut
timing
again.
Uppercut, I know. It's to a T.
That looks like the sort of shot, Jack, which they've practiced in the gym, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can see the big backhands coming in, and he's having none of it, you know, he's beating him to the shot, and it's disheartening. If you're trying to land a big shot on your opponent, and next thing they've got one before you, it's like, how's he done that?
Yeah.
It's definitely paying off tonight.
Nice 1-2 down the middle from Fail.
Lovely shot again. He disguised it. He looked down to the body, but put it to the head.
Montelongo complaining it was a bit behind the ear. Looked okay to me.
Montelongo's in for a long night.
Yeah, he is, and he's a tough man, Montelongo.
Lovely timing jab there. He's just not allowing Montelongo to set, is he?
And it's disheartening. He's obviously got some big shots off us on his previous opponents, and he's finding it hard to land with Carl here. He's beating him before the shot, after the shot, and you know, he's beating everything before it.
As you know, Jack, them timing shots, they're not nice. You don't expect them. You can see the big ones coming, but the timing shots, they're horrible, and he's catching them with numerous shots of that.
And as a fighter, it must feel brilliant when you land that type of shot, especially that neat little uppercut which Fail throws.
It brings your opponent off the game, you know. They're setting something up, they're thinking doing this, next thing you keep catching with a timing shot. It just throws the game plan. They're trying to get back to where they've just been, and it's very disheartening.
I like the finishing as well, you know. He's landing the shot and he's creating that distance on the exit, which is good. It's not allowing him to come back with nothing, Montelongo.
The Fail just had a little reminder. Montelongo still there. Big whipping left that came in a moment ago. Oh, great shot there from Fail. Short left hand. Montelongo comes back with a single shot to the body. It's not enough to phase Fail, who just gets himself out of range from that 1-2. Comes back in with that uppercut. And he's putting his shots together well now. Fail looks like he's well and truly into his groove. Montelongo active and busy on those ropes. He's got to be, because the shots are coming in thick and fast from the man from the Peacock Gym.
I like to get them shots nice and long from Carl now. We don't need to get tangled up with nothing and get caught with nothing. You know, he's beating into the shot at the end of range, and you know, he's working very well.
Well, I think at the moment Carl Fail is winning every round for me.
Yeah.
And he's on his way to being 12-0 and pushing on for more and more fights, high-profile fights, more title fights. Of course, he won the Midlands area title not that long ago, but he's got to stay switched on, Zach, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has his in there with a big puncher, you know. From Carl's point of view now, he just needs to stay switched on. I think the performance is excellent up to now, you know. It's been a 4-round shutout, but it's not just been a 4-round shutout. You can see the boxing prowess, you know. He's very, very switched on. The shot selection's great, as I said earlier, and the corner have got to be very happy with the performance. I think the only thing that he could do to better this now is carry it on and stop the kid, but listen, I'm happy to see another 4 rounds of this. I think it's great.
We may well do exactly that. I think Fail's become more and more accurate with his work as the rounds have gone by. Can he continue with that solid work? One thing's for sure, Montelongo will stand there, he'll keep coming, and he'll keep throwing those big shots in a bit of an unorthodox way, which sometimes makes them hard to read. But Fail's done a good job of it so far, as he tries to draw in the Mexican, then just pops a jab out in the southpaw stance once again.
Yeah, he just stepped back and threw the jab twice, then it's good. Montelongo don't know what to do with him. He's got an answer for everything, Fail has tonight.
Like we were saying there, Darren, you know, you got to stay switched on, and when you're in with a punch like Montelongo, you know, you can't switch off for a second.
Lovely shot.
Well, that was a good shot by Fail. Snapped his head back there. You just see the sweat glisten in the lights above us.
He come round to his right then, Fail, you know, when he was going on the combination. He done the second phase from the angle, so he was safe from that big backhand from Montelongo. You can see there, he's staying on the right-hand side of him just a little bit. It's allowing that right hand not to be thrown from Montelongo.
Fail working patiently,
buying his time.
He is, and you know, when the pace does drop a little bit, Fail's still pumping that jab. He's still keeping it in his favour.
Not switching off. He's keeping his eyes on him. You know, it's hard work. That, as you know, sometimes, like if someone stood in front of you, switched on, not doing nothing, it's quite draining. And you know, I think it's paying effect tonight. Yeah,
there you can see he's throwing a jab. Sometimes he'll touch with a jab. He's constantly giving Montelongo something to think about. He's adjusting the range ever so slightly, like I was saying before, in and out a little bit, touching with the jab, jabbing. It's good work from Fail, that is.
Montelongo sneaked the right hand through the middle there, just tries to stand on the toes of Fail, who just kind of nudges him off, then back through with that 1-2 lead hook of his. A combination which he seems to like because it works well for him. Continuously just putting incremental bits of pressure on Monty Longo with that jab, changing the rhythm, changing the tempo and the distance which it's thrown at. And then he always follows with something a bit bigger afterwards, sets it up. There it is again. Fail confident, obviously, as we go towards the end of that round with his hands down. For Monty Longo, the Mexican, it's just ridiculous how tough some of these guys are, and he's one of them. It just keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. And you guys can hear these shots. They're not light, are they?
Credit where credit's due there. I can see his gum shield getting washed out. It looks like he's got his teeth pulled out. Listen, he's a tough man, and he's throwing tough shots. And listen, you've got to give a puncher a puncher's chance as well. You know, he is making Carl think and be wary of stuff, and you know, Carl's boxing to great instructions. I think he's doing very well. I like it how he's mixing it up inside, keeping it at range, and that jab's getting off even better.
I'm sure Martin Bowers and all the team will be happy with the work which Fail has been doing. Would have been a decent camp for this, and a thriving gym, and to see the results unfolding is exactly what every trainer is looking for. But I can bet my bottom dollar it will be more of the same.
Yeah, into the 6th we go, but Fail's not put a foot wrong yet. Boxed very well.
I think, like you were saying there, Darren, he would have had a great camp for this. He was supposed to fight Dean, which would have been a cracking fight. Obviously, it got postponed due to Dean having an injury, but he's out here against a tough man, you know, tough Mexican, and you know, definitely getting his money's worth.
Yeah, absolutely is. Well said, that man.
Love the range. He blocked 2 and then pulled back off the other one.
Foul doesn't just defend with his hands, does he, or his arms?
No.
He defends with his feet a lot of the time, doesn't he?
It does. Listen, it's underrated, that footwork. Even just general boxing is underrated. Keeping it simple, boxing, taking the feet in and out like he just done there. It's easy, but you don't see it happening too much these days. It just makes everything so much simpler. Land your shots, get out, and you're safe.
You were saying before, Darren, that old school style. He's got his chin down, he's tucked behind it, and you know, he's got the things what work well for him, and he's mastering them. You know, it's the simplifying boxing. You don't need all this flashy stuff, and Carl's boxing to great instructions. He's got a tight guard, his chin's down, and you know, he's letting his shots go. And that's what boxing is.
And one of the things that we've seen with Fail in recent fights anyway, when he stopped people, is he is very good at smelling the blood, and he can go 0 to 60 unbelievably quick. You think, where did that came from? So don't be surprised if he looks something and then just goes for it and lets his hands go. He's a master at that, as he is at that reverse 1-2.
Yeah, it's a lovely combination. Again, it's just simple stuff, but you don't see it thrown too much, Darren. You don't see it thrown that much. They'll always throw the 1-2, you know, the jab backhand or the backhand jab, but
is it more of a southpaw thing?
I'm not too sure. I might try throwing it myself.
Hope they don't start knocking him out. It's like we need them 12 rounds for you, pal.
Hey, you never know. Got a new arm.
Monty Longo just stepping on the inside of the stance of Fail, trying to get those left hooks off, but as he does, Fail was back with hooks of his own over and over again. Rolls under it again. Beautiful work.
For a tall fella and rangy fella, you know, Fail's inside works very good. The bent arm shots are nice, they're crisp. And then when it breaks to the longer range again, he gets back on the longer shots.
It's a good point, actually, that Fail is 6'1" as a super welterweight. Pretty tall, isn't it, really?
Yeah, about the same height as me.
How many drinks have you had after that, Zach?
Anyway.
I had to have a look at him then, just to see if he was joking. Yeah. But not on a serious note, Virgil Ortiz Jr. is 5'10", Josh Kelly is 5'10", Tim Zhu is 5'8". They're fighters in and around his weight category. So yeah. He obviously he makes the weight well because he looks good in there.
Yeah.
And there's kind of no signs about energy dipping, is there?
No, he looks good in there and he looks fresh. And he's sharp, you know. A lot of the time when they're making weight and struggling to make weight, they do lose that sharpness, but Fayol's looking very, very sharp tonight, so it mustn't be a problem. And the way he boxes, I suppose he can use that, you know, tallness and the extra height as an advantage, because he is very, very good at boxing at range, and his judge of distance is very good. So I suppose it might cause a couple of problems when he steps up and starts getting in them big 50-50 fights, shall I say.
Like you were saying there, Darren, the brothers are always in top shape. They're in, you know, they've got a top coach there, and I think they've got a top dietitian, you know, Charlie Mitten, and he's looking after both of the boys, and he's paying dividends tonight.
Shout out Charlie.
With a penultimate round of this 8-round contest. Montelongo trying to give Fayol a bit of a taste of his own medicine with the feints with the feet.
It's a shame he won't get him off.
Yeah, he just tried again there with leading with a jab, and Carl just leaned back through that lead and chop and landed it twice. And he dipped under that one then. Lovely 1-2.
That was clean, wasn't it?
Yeah,
nice,
very
crisp. Left down, straight down the middle, right through the middle of that guard. Looks like he's enjoying himself now, does Fayol. Not that he didn't earlier on in the fight, but it looks like his confidence is well and truly sky high.
Yeah. So it should be, Darren. He's boxed excellent tonight up to now.
And he's getting in his groove, you know, he's in, like you're saying there, Darren, he's enjoying himself, and that's what you get. It's how you learn from boxing, is, you know, repetition of it, and it's paying off there.
And like they say, you know, you enjoy your job and you won't work a day in your life, and
That's
he's
true.
enjoying it tonight. A good hands again, he blocked that shot then, excellent on the inside.
Enjoying it nearly as much as you guys are here tonight. Not loading up Fayol, but those punches had a bit of spite behind them. You could hear them crack as the lever landed on the Mexican.
Yeah, left and right.
Stepping on the gas there a bit, Carl. He must have seen something, or is Montelongo's had a big push and he wants to push on himself?
He doesn't have tuck up well though, does he? You know, he's tucking up and he's taking the big shots, and he doesn't even look phased.
But like Darren was saying before, for a 6'1" man, he can tuck up, and you know he's puts a quite good shell on while he's inside, and he can box and he can fight inside, which is nice to see for a big fella.
Good combination from Fayol. One comes straight back from Montelongo, left hook to the temple. Just made Fayol go back and reset, rethink, and then straight back to work off those feints again.
Shot. Lovely backhand from Fayol then. No tell on it.
Montelongo saying no.
What a tough man.
He might be one of the toughest fighters on the circuit, Montelongo.
Yeah, he's got to be, Darren.
If Fayol doesn't get him out of here in this 8th and final round, there is nothing to worry about there, is there? Because I think he's the type of fighter who will stand there for 8, 10, 12 rounds with many, many, many fighters. He's one of them.
Yeah, and it's not that, what would Carl have got out of coming here and blowing him out in one round tonight? He's come here, he's got 8 rounds out, and it leaves him in good stead then, you know. He's going to be straight back in the gym, and you don't know when that phone can ring. He could get a massive opportunity within 4, 5, 6 weeks. You can see he's one of them kids that don't go ballooning up in weight. He stays in the gym, and hopefully now this last round he sees it out, no injuries, and he can be back out as soon as possible.
Well, let's hope that is the case for this half of the Fayol twins. And the 8th and final round coming up. And Michael Alexander just hurrying the Mexican out of his corner. Both fighters touch gloves, in which has been a good contest. But a contest surely Fayol has won pretty much every round, if not every round.
Yeah, he's boxed very well, and he fellas, very well.
Like how he's been switched on since the first bell to the second bell. He's not blinked, he's not took an eye off him, which you need, you know, when you fight. You can't be switching off laxy-daisy, and he's not done that tonight, Carl. He's kept it nice and long. He's let that jab go, and when he needs to be inside and let his shots go, he's done that. You know, I think Martin from Peacock's gym will be very impressed, and not just Martin, his full team and his brother.
Absolutely. Couldn't have put it better myself. And continuously peppering the jab through his fail, no differently in the 8th as he did in the opening round.
Lovely shot.
He's just up in the gears, and he's thinking, now let's see what I've got here, and you know, letting all these shots go, and he's keeping it clinical.
He is. He's not rushing nothing. I know it's the last round and all that, but he's just staying nice and composed, sticking to what works. It's smart from Carl.
Monty Longo not firing back now like he was in the previous
Oh, he's hurting
round.
there. I don't know if Monty Longo just felt one of them shots there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he just slipped a tiny bit,
yeah,
or if one of those had got through.
Yeah.
A bit more noise coming from the Peacock corner as Fail just starts to load in those hooks, and Monty Longo.
I don't know whether one's registered there, Darren.
A minute left here, you don't need to...
I'm not sure if there's something wrong with the right foot of Monty Longo, the way that he was just kind of going back on that then.
Yeah, he was kicking it out a little bit, wasn't
he? Fail's seen it, and I said it earlier on, he's good at going from 0 to 60 when he sees that the time is right.
But that
and the time to do it. Now's the time to do it. 30 seconds to go. It would be the perfect ending for Carl Fail.
100%.
It would be. That would put the icing on the cake, but whether it was a slip or not, I can't remember.
Monty Longo.
But this is the way to close a fight, innit? This is a way to close a good performance.
This is exactly how to do it. Monty Longo still firing back for a close to the body, but Fail finishing not just this round strong, but finishing the fight strong as well. And he gives his man a great big smile. And
excellent.
Definitely a little bit of a limp there from the Mexican. Hopefully he's all good, because he will most definitely be back out in action before you know it.
And you can hear him shouting there, Darren. He wants a belt. He wants to be in these big fights now and challenging for titles, does Carl.
He deserves it. And forms like that, you know what? He'd be looking for any domestic fights there and pushing on towards the British title, I'm guessing.
Yep. Both brothers there celebrating great.
But over to Thomas Schreiber, who has the official score.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Michael Alexander, scores the contest 80-72 for your winner. And still undefeated, one half of the Fail twins, Carl Fail.
Well done to Carl Fail. Thank you very much for your company. Thank you to my co-commentators, Zach Miller and Jack Rafferty, who have always been brilliant, have been phenomenal and great company. And lastly, a massive thank you to Dev Sani, whose final show with Queensbury as a Queensbury full-time employee. Dev, you have been brilliant. It's been a privilege to work alongside you, and may those boxing nights continue. Thank you, and the action continues live on DAZN straight away.
Thank you.
Live exclusively on DAZN, May 16th. A giant stands over Doncaster. Filip Hrgovic, the most feared destroyer of dreams. But one man holds his ground. Dave Allen.
He's handsome as well, isn't he?
Finally back home.
Well, I've got no fear of Filip. We're in Donny, aren't we?
This is his one shot. Dave must slay Goliath.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.
She ain't gonna beat me.